Was that a mantis?
Were you a mantis?
Was I a mantis?
3, 2. Oh, I forgot to do something. But are we live? Yes.
Yeah, we're
hello,
live.
everyone.
Sorry, hi.
We're live. This is the ever on points rep RPG. This
The
is
Mantis Club.
We're professionals.
This is the Rep RPG's Vampire the Masquerade 5th edition live play, set in New Orleans, Louisiana, and it is Blood in the Bayou.
We're
And
professionals.
we were talking about which club you'd be in for L5R, and which is Legend of the Five Rings, I've now been told.
We were educating you.
I want to be the most passionate yet diplomatic person in the room.
Crane.
Yeah.
What might
Craters.
others see as your shortcomings? All of the things.
Or then Scorpion.
Scorpions don't admit they have shortcomings.
No, that's their whole thing. They
Probably
overly
messed
admit. They walk in and,
Right.
I have shortcomings.
My result is Dragon Clan, apparently.
Okay, that tracks
Oh,
actually.
neat.
That feels
Why does
right.
it feel like it's just like the Leo answer? It's just like, oh, you're the dragon.
I'm a Leo, but I still got
Oh, I thought you were... Never mind, I don't know.
Leo
I thought you were
Virgo plus baby.
There it is, okay.
And
So
I
hi!
am a walking contradiction, in fact.
So now you guys know a little bit about what we do in our pre-show,
It's just
as well
just
as
chaos.
it's just chaos, as well as a little bit of L5R, which Rep has been talking about doing off and on. So,
Here we go.
so like I said, this is Rep RPG, and we're gonna let Pixie tell us all about Rep RPG.
God, hello, hi. We are Rep
Yeah, we're switching things
RPG.
up.
I don't like when you do that to me. We are formerly Random Encounter Productions, but now Rep RPG on all platforms. We are a variety tabletop role-playing channel specializing in grand adventures and team storytelling quests. So we play, we have this Vampire the Masquerade campaign on Tuesdays now. What used to be on Fridays, it is now on Tuesdays for a few months. Taking the Friday slot will be our Cyberpunk Red campaign, which was previously on Saturdays. We also do Thursday nights, we play Gloomhaven as sort of a community night. We have also started doing community night things with Diablo and other similar games, with just being able to hang out in our Discord chat. So if you would like to join us in Discord, please do so. We are also diving deep this season into traveling to conventions to sell our handmade dice and other wares in person. So if you have a con in your town you'd like us to consider coming to, let us know where it is. Drop us a link. Drop us a comment. Request us, and we will.
Yeah.
Oh,
My house.
a whole convention at your house. I have to make enough to make the trip worth it. That's how cons work. So better.
It's true.
Get out your wallet.
But you always go that first time just to see.
Just to see.
She sure did say you weren't worth it, so...
She's never even attended your convention, and she's like, oh.
I will come to the bar tonight just to bitch slap you with your own clack fan and then leave.
Oh, don't... Please, that just got hard. Okay.
Anyway.
So,
Ooh, content warning.
And no, because I am talking already, I'm going to introduce myself first. We're shaking shit up, and I'm
okay,
Pixie.
well, let me tell you how I would like
also-
you to introduce yourself.
No! What do you want?
No, go ahead. I thought you were talking about your character. Go ahead and introduce
No,
you.
me as a player. Hello. I am Pixie, and I am, you can find me as @ChaosPixieMagic across all of the internets, and I also, am one of the two, myself and my husband, who is, sometimes a guest star in this. He plays Victor, but he's in the other room right now. Co-run Rep RPG here, and we are both simultaneously designing brand new role-playing games. His is tarot deck-based. Mine is dice-based with some tarot and deck-building mechanics thrown in there. And we're excited. Oh, right! Chris Corbett is here. Hello. I also run a D&D game on Wednesdays here. I run with Matthew and Megan.
Shit,
Day.
yeah.
A Warehouse 13 inspired modern D&D campaign. How would you like me to introduce my character after that fully professional, didn't fuck up a single thing self-intro?
No, it was great. So when you guys introduce yourselves, introduce who you are, what you're doing, and all that other stuff. But when you introduce your character, tell me what they're currently doing and kind of your like a recap of last episode, but from your character's perspective.
Good, excellent. So I am playing Siren. She masquerades As a Toreador,
time.
she is one of the daughters of the cacophony. However, uses the powers of her voice to change in motion, and she last week was finally got to use her daughter powers for anything on purpose. Actually, this is the first time I've actually done anything with them, by soothing and or worsening the mood of a wraith that
He
had
definitely brought
possessed
everybody
us.
back down.
Brought everyone back down. Sometimes
Yeah.
calm emotions is just make everyone fucking cry. No
Yeah.
one says that's not how it has to be.
And
It's
reset.
fine.
Yep.
And just reset.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck, Siren's hitting her reset button. We're all gonna cry. There's a reason I am called Siren, not beautiful singing happy creature.
Not Snow White.
You know? That too. That's better. That's better than what I said.
That's kidding.
And now, yeah, the birds and the everything. And now, she also during that time, however, in addition to traumatizing all of her fellow coterie members and herself by thinking about things she had not thought about in a long time, but have been very fresh on her mind recently. Also, inadvertently, she believes, in her head at least, hurt Jem, one of their Malkavian party member. She doesn't remember what happened, but because of that and then everything else that went on, she is very driven right now to help Jace figure out solve a mystery that they are dealing with before it gets out of control and out of hand again. She is just trying to hang on for a moment, and once again, because she's so good at it, is pushing her own trauma aside to try to deal with the trauma of her coterie.
And as someone with trauma, you explain that in a way that is like a very like traumatized way of explaining what you're doing through trauma. She's not pushing it aside and focusing. Like it doesn't like take an equal thing and push it to the side, then focus on what's the immediate threat. It's repressing all of that. Like I'll deal with that in months from now, and it's
She has
I know.
she has immortal life now. She can deal
She's
with
got
it
time.
in 30 years.
I do have
she's
time.
got time.
No big deal.
Therapy takes time,
Yeah.
and that is going to go there.
And that's all we got.
So let's shift to the person closest to Siren then, Jace. Matthew? Who are you, and who are you going to be playing tonight?
I am the stunt double sent in for normal Matthew, but
no.
I will be playing Jace. He is.
I don't like that at all.
Yeah. He's your friendly
like that.
neighborhood Tremere. The Tremere are fallen mages of sorts, and so he still gets to do a little bit of magic. And last week, with the help of the coterie, they took down a wraith that had gone through possessing each of us and had and ended its night possessing Jace. But the coterie was able to deal with it, and we got it. It was a little bit traumatizing, but no big deal. It was just old trauma, not new trauma, no big deal. And we got to take some time off after that, and it was great. But all good things have to come to an end. So, previously, Jace and Siren had followed a trail to try and find Addison, and it had done this weird sputtery thing. So now they are trying to research why that's happening, and are heading towards the Chantry to do a little bit of research, and everything's going to be great there because
Where nothing has happened.
Yeah, we weren't told about any bad thing that's happened from the camera's point of view there within the last several days. Definitely not. But that's where he's at. He's about to go research why somebody's able to put up a non-tracking spell or something on somebody to stop him from tracking them.
So who wants to go next? Because you guys are in kind of different modes.
I'm gonna say Kat, so I don't forget to also introduce the things she does outside of the channel, because I will forget, and I'm ready to shout out.
You're not gonna forget to not make her forget that she's got stuff outside of the game.
Hi,
It
I'm
tracks.
Hi, I'm Hecate, all over cat, and I am playing Elizabeth, our gangrel. Me outside of here. Well, I'm here on Tuesdays and Fridays, where I'm in Cyberpunk and Vampires, and then on Indigo Chameleon, you can find me on Mondays and Sundays, where I play D&D and Vampires. And then on Wednesdays, every other Wednesday, you can catch me on Jousting Through Descento on Spotify, because I also play D&D there. And I'm also developing a TTRPG inspired makeup line called Heroes Cathedral. And I also own a horror based company. Don't ask me to come outside ever.
No?
I always
Are there
thought I
dice
was going to be
involved?
the one
No.
with the most projects at the table, but for a while you may have surpassed me, actually.
I just
Challenge accepted. I'm coming for you. All right.
please don't. Don't do that. But I'm playing used to be Kitty, is now Elizabeth, as she has kind of shed the name that her sire gave her for her own name, as Siren had made her remember her family that has passed away because she has outlived them, and kind of hit her hard with the I am my own person, and not just a product of someone else. Which I don't think Siren understands how bad she hit her with that, but she did.
Siren doesn't
So
understand the concept of being her own person, so of course she doesn't.
So Elizabeth, after that horror ordeal, has spent a lot of time doing jack shit. She wanted to hang out with her boyfriend and learn how to play Mario Party. The biggest thing she's doing right now is the starting of making a no-kill shelter in New Orleans.
Yeah.
And that's what she's currently working on. But she was like, y'all, call me if you need me. If you need me to punch something, I'm there. But besides that, I just kind of want to hang out with my boyfriend and my friends and not be tried to die every 10 seconds.
And Meg.
Hi, I'm Meg, and I'm here. And I play Jem, the Malkavian. She had a great episode. Nothing bad happened.
No?
No, nothing bad at all. Her best friend is gone to oblivion, but that's fine. She has a new best friend who she drugged into loving her, but that's okay too. And she told her boyfriend that she loved him because she thought she was gonna die. And then he had this weird sort of love isn't real rant that felt like it really belonged in a 1940s black and white French movie. But she's doing great. But she's been working on a special project while everyone else has been on our downtime that I believe is done now. So
Find out.
Yeah.
To be fair, if you were going to describe the Nosferatu in any way, like 1940s black and white French movie, it's kind of on par.
Yeah, if they're not constantly just if fire weren't a problem, they'd be constantly surrounded by clove smoke.
Oh yeah. Oh, for sure.
Yeah, and they all play
vape?
accordion.
Can you do clove vape though, as as a stand-in for a while?
That's been the biggest technological advancement that the Kindred are actually happy with is like vapes.
Yeah, they absolutely.
You had one Malkavian back in like the early early 2000s, and was like, I still feel like I need and crave nicotine, and I can't light a match because I go berserk and kill all my friends. So how do I do this? And then vapes were created. So support your local Kindred.
Yeah, they all play accordion. It's great.
Yeah.
So,
I feel
Meg,
like we're just brushing over the all played accordion thing a little too fast.
They all play accordion.
They all play the accordion.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, that's all that I didn't. I mean, I used my one super spicy Malkavian thing on Siren to hurt her. And, she has no idea that she feels as bad as she does. She
doesn't know that?
Yeah, I mean, she knows that she made her forget, and she can only assume because it's Siren that she's been self-flagellating and internalizing everything.
Yeah.
But
you do know her well.
I do, you know. It's been a year.
Yeah.
And what a year it's been.
What a year!
Feels
indeed.
like
What a
3
time.
years.
One of the days in
God.
that year took four months.
Yeah.
So,
Night is long when you're a kindred. God.
Was it the Halloween episode that was like?
Oh my God, a month and a half.
half of Halloween.
Happy Christmasween.
Yeah.
That's how Nightmare
It was-
Before Christmas really happened. It
It's
was
the
just
dream.
one long D&D campaign
Yeah.
that started on Halloween and did not end until Christmas. Like,
I swear half the movies that are getting made are just
D&D
somebody's
campaigns.
bad D&D campaign, you know?
I stand by the idea that Gunpowder Milkshake is a cyberpunk milk run. That's all. Get the client out, get the job. It's much more complicated than you think. Done. Like, it's great. It follows the formula beautifully. Anyway.
And I'm Sway. I'll be the storyteller tonight. You can find me on Bardic Sway absolutely everywhere. And unless TikTok gives me a better TTRPG, I'm going to be creating my own too. Just because everybody else is doing it, it seems fun, and I want guns. So I want urban fantasy,
City
like
of
an
Mists
actual
exists.
The Sea of Mists.
City of Mists, Rav and I tell you every single
City.
time you bring up urban fantasy as the one you want to play.
Yeah.
There's so many
Okay,
options
well send it to me in
guns.
Discord because I'll forget it again.
I know.
But basically, what either I'm going to find or create is basically our world, and then take all the magic and everything that you can throw into it, without it being. I know everybody's like, "Oh, mage is like that." No, that's
No, there's plenty other ones that exist. There's tons that
Yeah.
exist.
so.
You're good. We'll find them.
But yeah, on my channel we do silly things such as storytelling and reading, or just me yelling into my microphone playing World of Warcraft because somebody can't do their job in the game. I'm perfect at all times, always. For my party that is going to watch this later on, I am a magnificent person and I do no wrong. Just like Jace does. No wrong. Ever whatsoever.
Yeah, but Jace is not lying when he says it.
This
So,
is what I want. I want Jace arguing with his inner demons as a sub episode, please. Just
Oh,
saying
I
that
thought you were
us.
just going to stop. Like, I want him to argue with his inner demons as a sub. I'm like, what? But that is going to bring us to Jace inside.
Yeah.
Hello.
You are on the steps of the Chantry.
Palace.
Last we saw these steps, they were covered in ashes. A very pile-like pile of ash. Not spread around, not anything else like that. It's just a pile. And then the lovely attendant inside walked over that pile, opened the door, shut the door, and that's all we... Margaret?
God damn it,
Her
Margaret.
name is Margaret. The lovely attendant. She has a name.
The lovely attendant. She used to have a name. As you walk... No, I'm just playing.
Dun dun dun. She's strung up in front of us.
The only one that survives New Orleans is Margaret.
Oh, it would be.
It would be. She is actually the antediluvian we've been looking for.
That checks out.
Her coffin is under there. That's why the power
tracks.
is so great. We
Now-
have never seen Margaret at the same time as we have been at the Five Sides, or at the fucking
The Hard
Rock. My brain went to my books. I'm sorry. At the Hard Rock.
Is that what you envisioned, the Five Sides? Because you did not write it like that at all.
No, that's not what I envisioned. I've just been talking about my own world ad nauseum
Yeah.
for 2 months now, so
It's a good
it's
Valid.
defaults. So,
Valid.
Yeah. It's the place where people eat and have fun and sleep. That's the Five Sides.
yeah.
Also, Hard Rock. So, do you guys want to start on the porch, or do you guys want to start further back? Is there anything you guys want to talk about before you are at the Chantry?
One quick question / note.
Yeah.
Is Iris with us?
Did you request that Iris go with you?
Not particularly.
Didn't Iris
Unless-
invite us? Didn't she say, "Come on, let's go. Come on,
See, that-
Vamonos,
I
everybody,
Was
let's
think-
go."
was that it?
Yes.
I think she did, but also if you don't want her there, she's not there.
She said, "Let's
Oh,
go
okay.
to the
Yeah.
it was a group
Was
effort.
there a private conversation that you wanted to have with Siren away from Iris? Okay, then Iris is going to tag along with you.
Okay. Yeah.
And she opens the door, lets you guys walk in. She's going to close it behind you guys. And sitting on her desk, or in her desk, not on her desk, this is a different kind of show. Sitting at her desk, leafing over what looks like a dime store romance book, like a Harlequin novel. She's sitting there reading, and she looks up. Oh, Iris and company. Welcome on in. And Iris walks up, and she looks at you, Jace. So, what are we really looking for?
Well, we are looking for counters to blood magic.
Okay.
And he will greet Margaret. And I
My
know
dear.
previously we needed to sign in to go like interrogate Hancock or whatever. But do we need to sign in to do typical chantry stuff?
As Iris describes what you guys are there to look for,
Mm-hmm.
she flips through her little logbook that you've seen before that you do have to sign,
Mm-hmm.
and she flips to a random page to you. It just seems like she's
Sure.
flipping through a bunch of empty pages, and then turns it around to you. And there's a couple names on there, none that strike you as odd or different in any way. She's like, okay, we'll just sign here, and Iris can lead you back.
Perfect. Thank you so much. The names on there aren't. I know that you said that they don't strike me as odd, but they're nothing that I recognize either. They're not like.
You've not that you've closely associated with a lot of the Chimera in New Orleans, but these are names you've heard in passing.
Sure. Okay, but
you're
it's not
familiar
like,
with these people. It's not like an hour.
It's not like the Primogen of the Tremere.
No.
Gotcha. Okay, cool. Then yeah, he will gladly sign. I appreciate it. All right, I guess let's go. How have things been, Margaret? Has it been busy?
Are you trying to get a read on her if there's something up?
Not really. He's just trying to be friendly to Margaret. Because he doesn't come to the chantry very often, and you always need to be friendly to front desk people.
It's true. It's a self-defense mechanism.
Yeah.
And as she takes the book and the pen and she kind of tilts it towards Siren, she goes, some days are busier than others, but it's been relatively quiet.
Good.
I think that might have to do with a lot of the sigils and inner workings that we don't hear what goes on in there out here, but it's still good to be quiet.
Very fair. Yes. It wouldn't be good to have sound leaking out.
No.
So that the public could hear.
I just imagine it's full of explosions and cries of terror.
Siren makes a mental note. Magical soundproofing. And now that Iris is definitely aware of shit, she's made a mental note to ask Vegas about playing in there when she needs to practice shit. So it might be more soundproofed even than his house.
So Iris is going to start walking back unless there's anything you wanted to specifically talk to with Margaret.
Nope.
You guys go and you do the same thing. You meander through the books. You take the left path and the right path, and by the time you're circling back to come towards the front, you realize that you're actually facing the wall, and it's very disorienting every single time you walk through here. You've never gotten lost. You've never heard of anybody getting lost. They always kind of get where they're trying to go to. But it's disorienting for every account that you've ever heard of this place, which just kind of checks with the Tremere in general. And Iris opens the door, and again, just like a lot of the rooms here, it is just a library to be researched and read upon. The difference, I would say, is instead of just a library, it looks more like a laboratory on one side and a library on the other, where it looks like research is being, like, there's a row of tables in the middle, and it looks like there's research being done and then trying to either redo the experiment, recreate something, or test out their theory in a relatively safe place.
Mm-hmm.
And Iris just sits on the edge of one of the tables that are closest, and she goes, okay, so she looks around. Nobody here. What are we really looking for? What are we...
Actually things that stop blood magic from working.
So stopping your spell.
Yeah. Things that wards that could be put up to sometimes stop it. People that can detect when blood magic is being cast on them. Things like that.
Okay. And she kind of like leans back, arms up, stretches, and you hear like this bone crunching, like she snaps every bone in her back as she stretches, and it is a very
I need someone to do that to my whole body.
you haven't exactly you haven't
God.
heard this sound come out of an undead body, but you don't think like a mortal would survive that.
Yeah, no. What the
That's
hell?
like a deep stretch, and she leans back up, stands up. She goes, "Okay, let's get to work." Now
Right.
we're gonna do. Siren, would you like to assist?
Absolutely, research is one of my special skills.
Okay. So you are gonna get your special skill bonus. Matthew, Jace is gonna get a +2 bonus as well, just
Perfect.
because it's research in your occult, in your blood magic. Like there are
also
times where
have the research specialty as well.
You can use whichever one.
Perfect.
I know they're pretty much the same, but it's just whichever flavor you're going for. So do you want to take your human research capability, much like Siren is, or do you want to use your occult?
We're in a magic. Yeah, we're in a magic. A magic library with researching magic.
Okay. So Siren, you are only going to get 1 extra dice. Jace, you're going to get 2, because even though you do have a great research, this is symbols and arcana.
Also, I realized last week I was using the digital dice roller wrong. I was supposed to roll 10 dice, and I put 7 in the normal dice pool and 3 in the hunger dice pool. I should have put 10 in the normal dice pool. So that massive success I had with the song might have been more. I did it smaller than it was supposed to be. Probably for a good thing, because if I had gotten any more successes in that, y'all may not have come out. Like,
I just want to point out one thing that I think was missed, and this is probably due to me not explaining in the moment.
Okay.
There were no kine around. There were no humans.
Yeah.
God knows what an effect like that would have had on somebody with full humanity.
Oh God, yeah.
So,
we were not. Nope.
Super slime.
Like, I was like, oh, she starts trying to make some sorrow shit.
Also, hi, ask me if I gave a fuck in that circumstance if mortals.
No, you wouldn't have. You wouldn't have. Well, so I did do some side rolls to see what was happening, like, because you ever walk by a bar and hear the music playing? So I did some side rolls for the people on the street.
Oof.
Everything's fine.
Oof. Yeah.
Odd occurrences last night at Le Save as passerbys just decided to unalive themselves on the street. So the music was making me do it.
I like to think, given the fact that we spent an entire 3 months of that 6-month downtime working the acoustics in the bar so dumb shit didn't happen, that's not actually even close to the case. Like, we were real careful about it. Like,
This is true. We
designed the acoustics to be favorable.
This is true. So go ahead and make your rolls and tell me how many successes you have.
Would you like, for the mental, would you like intelligence or wits?
I was going to go with intelligence.
Yeah,
Okay, perfect.
I did intelligence academics.
Perfect. Okay.
And then my research perk. So 3 successes for me.
Okay.
Okay. Those two cancel each other out.
One of the very few times you guys actually might roll better than Iris does.
If the 3 is better than Iris, I'm concerned.
I got 5 successes.
Jace, you did a lot better than Iris.
Technically, I got 7, but then I also got a crit fail, so 5.
Okay. You, Siren, you and Iris seem to be kind of on the same wavelength of like. You get. Siren, as you are researching, you catch glimpses of Iris kind of stealing looks at Jace. Like she might be a little distracted by what she's looking for. She looks back to Jace kind of like in confusion of like, is there something else going on? And like that's something you get without doing a wits insight. You've seen that look in every form of media and mother in the world. It's like I don't think you're telling me everything.
At some point, if there's a moment where Iris and Siren are, while Jace is deep in hyper focusville and doing that, she's just gonna quietly. So Vega said you could make me my own.
Yeah, it's not extremely hard. It's just not very common because.
Well, I'm not very common.
Exactly. So it's not difficult.
Do other people recognize this for what it is and what it's doing?
No. Even if they looked at it, it would be, if they understood the symbols, it reads in such a way that it's just disconnected and disjointed words. Sometimes small phrases that, when you put them together in a certain way, actually mean something else entirely. It's kind of like writing in sarcasm. So while anybody would look at this and go, okay, these words are obviously something to do with voice or calming or quieting. It could mean anything from your inner voice calming the beast. It could mean... Some people are going to read into it, some people aren't.
So it's a safe thing to say design and just wear as a statement piece. It's not something I'd have to hide.
No, yeah, there's no masquerade issues. You can wear it out in public. The biggest thing is some of them are Old Norse, like Futhark runes, and some are more Germanic letters. And you've seen, like, it looks like there are some regular letters that we're used to seeing, like either tilted on the side or like a 45-degree angle to intertwine with a rune or something else like that. Some people that get a really close look at it, that Vegas would probably throw them through a wall if they were that close to you. They would think you're a Norse, what are they, the pagans.
She takes a break from the research for a second, undoes Vegas's, and she also pulls off another necklace that she has often worn tucked beneath the layers with a, got a guitar pick on it. And she hands them both to Iris and says, if you could kind of make it look like a more feminine version of his, but if you could weave this into it.
The guitar pick, is it a plastic pick?
Metal.
It's a metal pick. She takes the pick on the chain, and she kind of... Does this specifically have sentimental value to it, or is it just something that you would like the design incorporated into it? And she kind of rubs it, kind of just fiddles with it.
Sentimental.
Okay. And
my music to me is very sentimental, and so something I want to wear more often like that feels right.
Okay. And she actually holds out your hand and she places the pick on the chain back in it. She goes, you keep this then. To fundamentally change something, even just visually, with markings, I don't want to take away from the memory that you might have with this by changing it. But I can make you something similar.
Question.
Yeah.
Because it's okay with her if it changes, but if it changes, does it become not her touchstone anymore?
You can use it.
Yeah.
And continue to use it as your touchstone. But if something happens to it, the negative effects will be doubled. Or
what's more rock and roll than that?
Double it and give it to the next person.
Double it and give it to me in 6 months when something bad happens to this necklace.
Yeah.
That's something you will have to decide for yourself.
Does she have to decide right now?
She's going to, if you don't give her this, she will make one that is similar. But but she's kind of giving you that choice now of like, hey, look, if this is sentimental, I'm going to change it. So why don't you just keep it?
Mm.
You leave it in her hand, or you take it
I
and
put it back in her hand.
Sometimes sentimentality makes the magic stronger. So who knows? We'll work this out.
I'm also hoping the magic makes the sentimentality safer.
It never is 100%.
I know.
But we try to take care of our precautions. Is there any precautions I need to take with this one? She kind of like head nods over to Jace.
Actually, I think you would have been proud of him. He doesn't seem to be doing anything reckless or stupid, and the rest of us definitely are.
Well, most of you have come a long way from writing down your thoughts and feelings about...
As he's got his pen.
He flips it back over and erases real quick. All right. Well, let's see if we can find a way for somebody who's not us to block us.
Yeah, and thank you.
Of course. You have to remember, all of us are self-serving. We're all little self-serving monsters. But sometimes we can find joy in helping someone else by helping ourselves. Or keeping someone else safe to keep yourself safe. Me and Vegas have been keeping ourselves safe for a very long time. And him bringing you into his life, you're an extension of keeping him safe.
I take that really seriously. I hope you know that.
I know you do. He wouldn't have, as she turns back to the stack of books, he wouldn't have chose you if he thought you were a danger to himself.
Oh, good to know. Or he just wasn't paying enough attention. All right.
Self-serving little monsters. Now, Jace, you could have heard all that. You're a kindred in a library that's enclosed. However, your bestial failure makes you not be able to do
Listen,
shit.
man,
You're so
that's fine.
focused.
I don't want to have listened to it. I got other shit to be doing. I'm reading.
Exactly. So, how many days do you plan on researching possible ways of evading tracking through blood magic? Because that is specifically what you're going for.
So, honestly, unless he gets pulled away from it, he is going to research until he thinks he found an answer.
Okay.
So if there is some event that happens that makes him be pulled away from it, he will obviously gladly do so. But
Okay.
this is kind of...
You did roll
To
enough
him.
successes. Go ahead.
To him, this is the next step in their checklist of things, because not only is it so close to home with it being Addison, but also it leads to the Hard Rock, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
So to him, this seems like a pretty big thing, which
Yeah,
is why
no,
he's willing
100%.
to dedicate so much time to it.
So we're gonna pause you real quick. You feel like you're making headway due to your successes. You feel like you're making headway,
Perfect.
but you don't know if it is a positive or negative outcome. Like if you will be successful in this.
Sure.
So you're gonna push forward. Siren, how many days would you like to assist him with this? Do you have other things that you want to do?
No, she is very aware. She started getting anxious the minute she took the guitar pick off and gave it to Iris. But she needed to take it off because before that she was constantly fiddling with it, thinking back to her own shit and trying not to do something equally stupid. Removing herself from that reminder allowed her to focus on something else for a while. And allowed her to ignore the pull of go feed on those fans, go play for that band, go sing for somebody else. Look what you just did. The music and voice in her head telling her, look what you fucking accomplished. You should go sing for people, is very loud. So keeping herself locked in this room, focused on something else, even if it's boring, even if it's not something she enjoys doing, something she knows she needs to do, that is how she's dealing with her trauma right now. Is let me just focus on somebody else's problem. Let me focus on someone else's. Let me make it my whole life. If they let me make it my whole life. That being said, she will every fucking night, if he is able, go absolutely demolish Vegas before coming back here. That the next moonfall.
That's fine. Yeah, I'm assuming that everybody. I'm assuming that even we skip forward a few days, that everybody's taking care of their dietary needs and frustrations. There is. Well, let's see how much time passes. Now, Elizabeth, Kat, you originally said Elizabeth was just going to chill with Duncan for as many days as you could.
And her new friends she made. The gangrel ones.
Oh, okay. Is there anything like you would specifically like to accomplish?
She's gonna start working on the animal shelter.
Okay.
Depending on I don't know how much time has passed. I don't know what point she's at.
We'll see. We'll see how much time. Meg, what is Jim going to be doing?
So, because we have time for this, and I want you all to know, Megan did some research. So, LaSalle has been closed this whole time because it's going under construction. The front wall to the building has been removed. So it's pillars and it's very open, and the concrete and the floor on the first floor has been ripped up and replaced with grass and sod, so that it is now registered as a park, because that's the only way you can let dogs in. And
research has been done.
research has been done. There are a lot of there's actually like a pretty good like business in New Orleans for dog restaurants, but they're all open air and they're all on sod. So the top floor is still, upstairs VIP. Nothing else has really changed. Some of the furniture's been updated, so it's a little more grass and animal friendly. And I think the space around the stage is still hardwood, so that
you don't want drums on the grass at all times. Siren,
well, like the stage
would have a heart attack.
Listen,
there's kind of an area that is like the dogs and cats. Like they're not going to go on the hardwood; they have the grass. Mm-hmm. So when if Kitty has come by, like the dogs have kind of shown like this is their area. And they will move off the hardwood if need be, but it's kind of like they've been kind of keeping all the other animals like where they're supposed to be.
Are they hurting other pets? Like, no, you stay.
They're the bouncers.
Yeah, they're the bouncers.
The animal clients.
Realistically, it's actually Fred and Salem that are the bouncers.
Yeah, accurate.
No, if you look real close behind the dogs is like two cat heads like laying on one of them.
But so she's Ryan's been helping her take care of all that during the day, and it was actually something that she and Ryan drew up because she wants Ryan to feel like that's her home too, and Ryan has cats, so that's been done, and she takes a picture of it, sends it to Elizabeth, and it just says thank you.
While setting up with Ryan.
Crying emoji.
While setting up with Ryan, you've realized that she is almost guaranteed, not every time, but guaranteed to bring the conversation back around to when is the next time that I can finish this because like third time's the charm. She keeps saying that, like third time's the charm.
Okay.
Because it usually does take about 3 feedings to lock in your goal.
But doesn't it have to be done like over a space of time?
It does, like months. It does. Now it does. It does seem to differ between people, but it's usually once a moon. You know, it's one of those like once a month.
Sure.
It's almost got like this kind of like superstition about it. About like, hey, just once a month they'll be fine if you can get them, like you can force them the third time to get it, you're fine. And that mentality definitely comes from decades and generations and raising hundreds of years ago, where you were lucky if you found another mortal that was alive and healthy and sane enough to make a ghoul. It's kind of this like a old kindred boomer mentality of like, if you can get them the third time, they're yours. But you know, like monster fuckers exist, so it's really not.
As is evident by this cast.
Listen, we're out there in the real world. We're teaching your children. We're bagging your groceries.
We're pulling your teeth.
Pulling your teeth. It's true. Oh my god! I don't know where you.
I'm a dental assistant. Okay, I'm not.
It was so good. That was so
just
good.
a psycho, just a psycho out for people's teeth.
Oh yeah, that monster fucker energy. Give
to like normal ass humans just walking up. You wake up with their hand in your mouth and like, shh, it's okay, I'm a monster fucker.
Okay. It's okay. I'm a monster fucker.
That's not the fetish I need to discuss today.
Oh hell, Cthulhu.
You wanted more clips? We got you more clips, motherfucker.
But yeah, so
your teeth.
you do realize that she keeps they keep bringing that. She keeps bringing that conversation kind of around of like, do you have a time in mind? Like, are you planning? She's trying to like get your gauge on like, is this a deal to you, or is it just like, oh, I guess it's that time? You know, is it the third Wednesday of every moon? Like, it's
okay. Sounds like Tom Waits. I mean, we can do it now if you want.
I don't. Would that work? I don't.
No.
I'm good.
Not like you wanted to. You gotta.
Okay, I'll just wait until it's that time of the month.
Yeah, listen, you're my period now, so.
Matthew. I saw that.
I will turn this stream around.
It's just like I was like wondering why everybody was giggling, and then I want to go look at Discord. It's like, oh.
I don't want to mess up your setup, but I will just leave.
Give her a, like a really comforting hug, and just be like, "Oh, you're my little tampon." That's it. I got the headphones off.
Yep, Siren took her headphones off.
Oh god, and that's how.
Megan, I don't have alcohol in the house.
Friend, guys.
I don't have alcohol in the house. Why?
Moonshine. Y'all keep playing.
Planning.
I'm just gonna drink, siphon gasoline out of the car real quick. No, I don't. Hey, Flo, are you okay? Do you feel any better?
I feel good. Like I knew I was going to feel good, but I feel. I don't know. I get out of bed in the morning. I don't hurt. You know, it doesn't matter how much you worked our asses off here.
You're welcome.
Just saying, I was hired as a bartender. But you know,
I'm not asking you to do the repairs. The fact that you're choosing to, that's on you, my friend. All I asked you to do was get contractors. Control freak.
Like they can't. I can hammer a nail just as easily as those dudes can.
Yeah, I know. I just want you to be okay, and I wish I could make this go faster or easier. I really do.
It'll get there.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we'll just be patient. And then she goes and starts working again. And what you pick up on is a difference of behavior. Though you don't suffer from it as much, you've seen it, especially with going to school for what you did. You could pretty much diagnose her with like either adult onset or ghoul onset OCD.
Mm-hmm.
To the point where being distracted from every single thing around while she is focused on the task at hand.
Cool. That's so fun. She hasn't this whole time, ever since the conversation, she hasn't talked to Id.
Okay.
He
will have texted you. Like he's not gonna let.
She's
gonna reach out if you don't.
She's not responding. Like
okay.
she's not cold shouldering him, but she's not initiating. She'll. Hey, kid, air quote question. Third time's the charm? Question mark.
Usually, some faster, some slower.
How long between?
They'll let you know.
Oof. She just sends back. Oof. Okay.
Have you told him
about Ryan?
Not just about Ryan, but like when you've given Ryan Vitae?
I mean, it's only, as far as I know, it's been the initial and then the other time.
Which was like a day or two later. Right? Roughly?
Did I turn her? I don't know.
Yeah, it was like very much like, hey, this is going to happen. And then.
Because it was, you had ghoul school.
Yeah.
And then like a day later.
2 days later was school, and then the next day. Yeah. So like 3 or 4 days after, yeah. No, because I saw her after I saw him.
Yeah. So you didn't tell him the second time?
No.
Okay. How long is it? He goes, how long has it been since you've had breakfast? Have you had lunch?
Yeah.
Okay, how long was since lunch?
However long this is.
Okay. So we'll say you put in like hours,
Right.
He goes, WTF, when was breakfast?
4 hours ago.
And he just doesn't respond.
Jesus Christ.
Cool onset.
She like, he gets the ... a couple times, and it's, she's here working if you like to meet her.
And about the ... I don't know how many minutes went by through each, or like if there were minutes that went by.
She started like 5 different sentences and then deleted all of them.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant like you were visually pacing out the message.
No.
Like ... send.
No. She want to meet lunch? Poor Ryan.
a couple minutes later, he shows up. He goes, hey, so I was in town, but now we need to talk.
Oh.
Where's the kid at?
Hey, Ryan. I want you to meet my friend.
And Ryan turns around. Yeah, hello, friends. Who's this dude?
Let's go talk
And
in my office.
you know it almost every single time visually when you see it, no matter what
He smells like
mask
stone.
of many, whatever mask of many facades he wants to wear that day. It's always like you can almost always tell. It's a certain walk. It's a certain like.
I love him. I
staying
know what
away
he
from
is.
people. Yeah, exactly. Most Nos will almost reflexively stay away from like other people because they're so used to the recoils of disgust. If they're lucky enough to have Mask of the Many Faces, which it seems like a shit ton of them do in New Orleans.
So far as we know, it's just the 3.
It's almost every Nos you've met.
That is fair.
And they like to show it off by going out in town. He follows your lead, and you pull Ryan upstairs.
No, because if I would like for him to be able to drop mask for her. So we have to go to my office.
Okay.
Because that has a door that closes.
Yeah, that's fine. You see her turn back to one of the contractors. If you fuck this up, I swear to God, if you fuck this up in any way, I come out here and your tape measure has went off a centimeter, a millimeter, a fucking micrometer from where it's supposed to be. And he goes, micrometer? Micrometer. I will pick any of the bottles. You know what? You can pick, but they're going up your fucking ass. And she turns around and like walks
So you
off.
have met Jen Ryan, is what I'm understanding. Okay. God, this is eerie. It's like she's in the room. Yeah, great. I'm feeling really good and strong about this. And that's her into the office. She does the door and the bottle.
Yeah. And he drops his mask of many faces, and you get. I'm just gonna describe it. She visibly like startles back in her chair, and just kind of like, oh.
It's okay.
Like,
it's okay. Just breathe in through your nose, out through your mouth. It's like a shot of tequila.
Hi, I'm Ryan. You're the fucking Grim Reaper.
Manners.
Those were manners. I loved that so much.
It just came out.
I know, but be nice. He's a friend, and he's much older than both of us.
Yeah, a few thousand. Sorry,
ma'am.
I don't know. And he goes.
Oh, God.
It kind of sits back, and he goes, and this is why we do this behind closed doors.
See, I got something right.
Yeah, but for those that have forgotten, Id, similar to Grin, is a very tall, broad, but not barn broad, like Ego kind of is. Lizard man with no face, if that makes sense. It's a large grin instead of a snout, instead of like a crocodile or an alligator or a wolf. It's just smooth.
If the Cheshire Cat was a lizard,
is
what I'm imagining.
Yeah. Oh no, Killer Croc kind of has a snout.
Yeah, he has a little bit. It's more like, imagine he who shall not be named from that who shall not be named's face, but lizard-esque but
like alligator print.
Yeah, alligator print. Yeah, like a Goomba from the smash hit Super Mario Bros. I swear
to God, he's not a fucking Goomba. He's not a Goomba. For those of you
at home,
he's not a Goomba.
We're not going to argue with the storyteller about what he looks like.
Because Grin very much looked like lizard, like Dr. whatever the fuck is
Connors.
Dr. Connors, the lizard, very much looked like that without the tail, like huge. And it's like Id and Ego got a smoothed out features of that kind of form. So Grin was the Grin Reaper. That's adorable.
Does he have a tail?
He doesn't have a tail. No. But
Fucking a tail.
when he's him, like when he's visually in this form, there is an odor. There is a general stink that rests on the nos. Now his to you does have a very stony and earthy musk to it that in many ways you find ways to love.
I do.
When he talks, no matter how sweet the words are, it is a rank putrescence that comes out, which is what kind experience on a level that your body not needing to breathe never really deals with. Probably thankfully that you don't have to smell him that much.
I love my trash man.
And he kind of settles back in his chair and he looks to Ryan and goes, so let's put in perspective ghouling someone. Let's say the first drop is breakfast, the second drop is lunch. Are you hungry for dinner? And she kind of like looks to you. I mean, I could eat. And that look of like confusion to Ryan disappears. And it's this resting lizard face as he looks back to you. He goes, okay, so you got two options. You could go ahead and kill her. Or, I mean, I guess I could. Or you can do the third drop. You could give her lunch or dinner now. And you're going to have to give her an afternight snack and then a midnight snack and then first breakfast and was it second breakfasts and
she just has to eat
often.
every day.
And he looks every day. No, it's just been on my mind. It's just happened and then it happened again, and then I don't know.
Oh, I fucked this
I'm
up.
not hungry. It's weird. It's just like I'm lacking something. It's kind of like I'm sobering up or going without. I don't know.
Did she get addicted? I'm asking.
You're not there.
I know. It seemed like the storyteller was trying to tell us, so I was asking as a player.
I fucked this up, didn't I?
No, you didn't.
She just looks
you
at
didn't fuck
Ryan.
this up.
I'm so sorry.
No, look.
We're not killing you. We're not killing her.
Okay, yeah, totally can live. It's not that she's. You didn't fuck this up. Sometimes it just happens. It happens more with the Ventru and the Malkavians. It's like you have a kid and you and your partner both have brown hair and then the kid has blonde hair. It's just you've got a redhead. I don't know, it just happens sometimes.
A redhead in my office? Absolutely not. But
brunette, blonde, redhead. Okay.
Okay.
It's just she's going to need not need. She's going to want more often. It could be no, I use a camera. It could be a boon to you, as in she's probably going to be pretty strong.
Hey.
Yeah.
No, not like this is all the right. Yeah.
And Ryan just kind of goes, just woohoo.
Okay. Well, then we'll figure that out. Fuck. She just sits and puts her head on the desk and starts hitting it very, very softly.
Here, we're gonna do this. Ryan, do you have any questions about what's going on? About anything that could happen to you? What your new life is?
Yes, she has the same 7 questions every day.
It's not the same 7 questions. I mean, we just...
Because you change the verbiage doesn't make it not the same question, sweetie.
She took me to ghoul school.
Yeah.
It looks over. They have a school now?
I outsourced.
Not the worst thing you could do.
Well, we were busy. We had a wraith, and I couldn't have her here.
You had.
I don't-
How did I do? You said you had.
Yeah, past tense.
Is it gone?
Yeah. It was bad. I thought I was going to die.
Did you have a seance? You call the Ghostbusters? What you?
Yeah, we did. But, like, it possessed me, and then it possessed Siren, and then it got Elizabeth for a little bit, and then it got
What the fuck
Jace.
is Elizabeth?
The artist formerly known as Kitty.
She's a fucking artist?
Duncan's friend.
Was that a Prince? It was a Prince joke.
It was a Prince joke.
Musician.
Why do I like you so much? Yeah, thought...
He's kind of the dumb one. I don't know what to tell you.
He's not dumb, he's...
No, he's sweet and innocent and just cares about his things, and that's it. It's it. There's a fucking
He smells like
Head
love.
empty.
villain.
You got the himbo Nosferatu. Congratulations.
Listen,
The
Oh,
dream,
glorious.
honestly.
What are you
The
fucking talking
fucking
about?
dream.
You got the himbo, I got the bottom. This is how this life works, okay?
Yeah.
It's true.
But hey, and she looks back at Ryan. The bar is safe now. For everyone.
You told me to get the fuck out, and I did. And then you told me I could come back in. I just assumed the problem was solved.
Problem is solved.
I like it. I'm here for it.
Problem
I
solved.
like problem solved.
We're problem solvers. Kinda. Also, mostly the problem is just all the time here. I don't know why. I really don't. We just attract it.
It looks over to Ryan. They kind of do. I don't understand it either.
Some of it is our fault. I will say that. But
get
a lot of
as strong
it's
as you can, because she's going to use you.
I'm not going to use you. I'm going to ask for help.
She's going to ask for help, and you're going to feel this unnatural desire to do exactly whatever she wants.
Shut up. She knows. God, you're not making this any better.
Hey, look, third time's the charm, right? Might as well just say whatever we want to now. And he kind of like breathes, don't like you, and like breathes in her face.
What? Oh no! This nightmare! Why is my life so awful?
It's okay. Hey,
What?
look, by the time she's ready for dinner, she's never going to ever think anything less of me than the god who stands among another. So it's fine.
Like her.
Well, she should have watched her fucking mouth when I came in the room.
She doesn't. Oh my god. You're one of those. Okay, yeah.
He looks over. Ryan, was there any question in that beautiful little head of yours that I was not anything other than a different form of kindred, a vampire, a monster, when I dropped my fucking thing? No? Okay, so you wanted to just recoil in assaults. That was your first... That mentality is going to go away.
So there's a giant, like, poisonous caterpillar just, like, climbing its way up my curtain.
I was
right
wondering
now.
what that...
Yeah,
look, you have
I
a
knew
solo
that
cup.
face.
Get
I-
a solo cup.
Nope, I'm gonna call Cody. So keep doing the show. I'm just gonna, yep.
That's his job.
That,
It
guess
is his
so.
job.
Fair.
Listen, I made sure it was in their vows.
that's
Yeah.
fair.
That's airtight, man.
So
Ryan,
there
can you-
is kind of this like almost insulted
Yeah.
vibe.
Ryan, can you give us the room for a minute? Go make sure that
Yeah.
guy didn't, fuck up or something.
Oh fuck! You better fucking not have. It was
know.
nice to smell you. I meet you, and she walks out. It's nice to get some fresh air. As she comes back in, says that, and then shuts the door.
Yeah.
She can't put the bottle back up, but
Yeah, no, I do. I'm sorry she hurt your feelings.
it's fucking. It is what it is.
No,
I'm surprised you can stand to be in the same room.
if it was what it was, you wouldn't have been such a little bitch about it. But
Okay, it is what it is, but I want to rip her fucking head off.
okay, please don't.
I'm not going to,
like
but
her
it is. It's like when you were trying to give food to, I was going to say a mouse, but they're fucking lower. When it comes to being a part of our community in any way, shape, or form, even as essentially manservants, drivers, blood bags, or construction help, like, shut up, you could be dead. It just runs through my head constantly. Shut up, you could die. You were brought in for whatever reason. Stop your shit. Stop being a petulant old child. Do what you need to do or show up for work tomorrow. Like, they could run at any time. Like, they could just leave. They choose to stay because they enjoy the benefits that being around us give them. So that's fine, as long as they serve a purpose for being around us. That's cool. Otherwise, they're a masquerade breach, and I don't want to die from the sunlight. Or raving priests with pitchforks. So they can either go about their business or shut up and look pretty.
Oh, you think she's pretty?
Not my type.
I will make sure you guys do not interact as much. I was kind of hoping you guys would be friends, but that's okay.
I'm good with being friends with anybody who wants to be a friend to me. But I give about an ankle's height worth of fucks for anybody who will just put their insults in front of their own safety.
Yeah, that's right.
Whether you're kind or kindred. Honor means very little in the scheme of immortality. But sometimes it's easier to just shut the fuck up.
That's why you're quiet.
This is why I'm quiet.
Do you like what we did with the place?
I think you're going to have an issue with people trying to bring their dogs in here and them not wanting to come in here.
I didn't do this for other people. I did this for
I know.
Elizabeth.
You did it for Elizabeth. Her animals being in here will help other people be able to come in here where your business doesn't go under. Because it'll be like, oh, well, I'm nervous about this place, but there are dogs inside. And then they're going to get inside and realize that, well, my owner is inside. Those dogs make me nervous now that I'm too close to them. And I'm just going to sit here and be really calm next to mom and dad or whoever.
I didn't know this until this week, really. And if this is out of your wheelhouse, that's completely fine. I can try to figure something out. But I feel like I'm fucking up constantly with the bar and my ghoul and dad and all of the coterie, and then all of the things that we touch. Everything is just ashes and wrong, and I need somewhere that it's not wrong all the time. And I'm not asking you to lie to me or pamper me or something. But every once in a while, I need someone to tell me I'm not a complete waste of vitae.
And he leans over.
I'm sorry that I'm asking you to do this.
And he puts a hand on yours. Just, you're not a fuck up. In the grand scheme of things, you're a child who was thrown out of her house. There are so many things you don't know. The fact that you're still alive, consider that thriving until you get your legs underneath of you.
No one tells me how to get legs. They just keep signing me up for 10Ks that I can't fucking run.
No.
And then after the fact, it's, oh, you should have. Fucking hell.
Yeah.
Everyone wanted me to get a ghoul. I got a ghoul. I did the ghoul wrong, and now that's fucked. Also,
You didn't do the ghoul wrong. The ghoul came out wrong. It's just.
oh god, that's worse.
It's just
So there's
something that
wrong with
happens.
me?
No, something. Ghouls are. They take parts of ourselves mixed with parts of them. Sometimes that creates. Somebody wants more shit all the time. She's just greedy. That's all that is. It's fine. She's gonna be a little greedy, and then she's gonna be strong. I'm telling you that now. And I'm not talking about like she could punch you through a wall or anything, but I'm saying that her mind. She's gonna be smarter. You need to make sure that you aren't trying to push anything into her.
I'm not.
I know, but like we all kind of want to give our ghouls something. Sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't. But like, just clear your mind. Don't think about it, because you don't want a fucking kind running around with your greatness, just trying to like make side hustle money or be a fortune teller. Or you ever heard of Miss Cleo?
Oh yeah, I love Miss Cleo.
Yeah, fuck it, Tremere Ghoul.
No way.
Yeah, do you know how long it took? It took until the advertisement started running at night, and there was a Malkavian sitting there watching TV. I think that was the prince. That's aside the point. Look,
Prince killed Miss Cleo. Oh my god.
Sometimes our ghouls want to be bouncers, especially Nos. They'll be bouncers. They'll wear a mask, and then they'll just try to fight people because now they're strong for the first time in their life. Sometimes.
What do your ghouls do?
Oh, I no. No, I don't have ghouls.
Why not?
I don't have people. I guess they're ghouls. I have not people.
Animals?
Yeah. So I had a ghoul. Somebody stole them from me, and then basically tried to make them an assassin, like an unwilling assassin. They literally. Somebody tried to kill me with a human ghoul, and I'm not doing that again. So I do New Orleans street animals.
Who fucked with your ghoul?
Oh, I don't know. But somebody did.
I'm sorry.
Yep. Besides street animals, look.
Puts a hand on his shoulder. You're a very broken boy.
Not as broken as the ghoul was when they exploded in 1,000 little pieces. So.
For the record, you are terrifying. Being with you is like being on a roller coaster.
Of love.
All the time. So, Prince, you don't know, but Red Hot Chili Peppers you do? Like an onion with layers. But
roller coaster of love.
You are terrifying, and my stomach drops when I'm around you. But when I wake up next to you, it's kind of like when the ride has stopped. And everything feels...
And then we wake up, and the ride just... You're also like dating a roller coaster. It's like...
But I also really like riding you.
This is the best roller coaster I've had in a while. Yeah.
Ever. Thank you. You have
so,
to keep your hands inside the vehicle.
At all times.
At all times.
I'm sometimes afraid I'm going to lose.
Norma, quick tug on that safety rope for me. and then we take pictures, but always at weird places. I don't take pictures. That was... Now I kind of
so there's... You didn't fuck anything up. Not that you didn't fuck anything up that you wouldn't have fucked up if you were anyone else in the entire world dealing with the shit of a roller coaster that you're on. So if you don't have anything to do, I wouldn't fucking do anything. Okay. Sometimes the only way not to find problems is to not go looking for them.
We have enough problems.
Well, If she becomes a problem, you let me know. I'll take care of it.
No,
Gladly, willingly, joyously.
no, I'll get you something else to destroy, but, Yeller's my dog.
I don't think you're going to have to put her down, but you're going to have to feed her.
Yeah.
All right.
You didn't have to come down here to say that. You could have just, I don't know.
There's always a small chance that if they're that hungry, you would have to kill them. I was checking on that. It doesn't happen often with y'all, but
Y'all Malkavians?
yeah.
Hey, how old are you?
And he like leans forward with you and like gives you a kiss on the cheek and stands up and starts walking out of the room. And he's roller coaster of love.
Damn it. Cool. So.
And as the door opens, you hear what can only sound like the only thing it can sound like is what it is a 2x4 getting like split against something else.
Jesus Christ. Okay, I'm gonna hey, hi, hey.
And you see this burly construction guy, like this not beefcake, but like dude who has been doing heavy construction the majority of his life, and he's got this broken 2x4. And you see Ryan standing back up as if she had just dodged this dude trying to break a 2x4 over her head.
I think it's time for lunch or dinner.
Yeah, fucking quit. And he slams the 2x4 and walks away.
That's great too. Ryan, let's go for a walk.
She goes, "You're not fucking getting your pay today."
I just put my arm around her and force her out of the building.
She just walks with you.
Yeah, we're gonna have a little. Maybe sometimes we don't say everything we're thinking. Chat.
Well, he shouldn't have grabbed my ass.
He grabbed your ass?
He grabbed my ass.
Oh. Did I see it anywhere on the way out?
No, you didn't.
Fuck, okay. So I'm gonna be like, hey, go play with that. I'm gonna take her out and get her a pup cup. I don't know.
Okay. Yeah. You guys have a day. Basically, she just relays the fact that he grabbed her ass. She turned around and said something to him. She doesn't really remember what she said. Something about like insulting his childhood and his feelings about his mother and something like that. And the next thing you know, and when the guy looked at you, like he had like a bloody eye. And that just like drove his blood pressure up so much that caused him to be so angry that he picked a 2x4 and just like tried to like smack her in the head with it.
She shouldn't be able to do that. I didn't give her that. Oh, fuck. Okay. That she and I are going to have a little conversation about the power of words.
You might hurt your friends with it.
Or random construction workers.
Random construction workers.
Oh, God.
So that's where we're going to kind of leave off. You guys can discuss whatever you want. You can try to train her if you want.
Just going to have a conversation and eat some ice cream.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm not old enough for this.
So it looks like everybody is just kind of doing their own thing for a little bit. A week later. Now, Siren, you've been helping out Jace. And every day for a couple hours or so, Iris will come assist you guys. Mostly she's kind of reached the point where she doesn't know if it's possible to stop blood sorcery or if you fucked it up and you replicated what you did. So either you fucked something up in that 1 minute and didn't realize it and can't replicate it because that was the accident. Or what she is thinking is that the number you're trying to reach is no longer available. she still doesn't understand the waves of why it might pick it up and then lose it. Do you research with anyone else? Do you have any contacts? Do you have anything else that you would like to put into this research effort?
No. Jace is not terribly friendly with the other Tremors.
Mm-hmm.
And the people that he is friends with outside of the Tremors, other than the coterie, are like the couple kind that he knows. So he doesn't really have anything else to put into it other than he's not sleeping at the chantry. So he will, whenever he goes home, will also probably do some research into normal Pine protection magic stuff.
Okay.
To see if there's any, like, just to see, kind of start making a list of warding spells and warding runes that like normal people use.
Gotcha.
And then is going to be implementing that into his research to see if he can find anything like brick dust. Does brick dust stop blood magic? Is there some Nordic rune that is used for protection that stops whatever, like that sort of thing?
You find out now. One of the reasons why you thought to look at brick dust isn't just because you're in New Orleans and the supernatural is around, and superstition. I was going to say superstitions. Superstitions are around, and cultural beliefs that have either been diluted or mixed or come straight from the source. All these things, and you think of the brick dust because you remember Jem doing that, and you find out that, well, if the brick dust worked, those ghosts wouldn't have followed you home. So maybe not so much with the brick dust, but then you look and you kind of go down this rabbit hole for a little bit and you find out, okay, the bricks that we use nowadays aren't the type that they would have used then. And you just kind of go. That bestial failure is still kind of kicking your ass a little bit. But during this time, Iris is going to talk to you about her time in the Sabbat. Because she knows you're going to find out about it somehow. Okay. Because now Elizabeth knows. This might come up again. Don't want you blindsided. Now, you can ask whatever question you would like.
Okay.
She's going to always give you an answer that kind of, you get this impression very early on in talking about it, is that she wants to steer you away from ever going down that route. Because she sees a lot of the, well, more power is more power. Different types of stuff. I mean, we're in the Tremere. We're not really Tremere, and they benefit from us. So maybe I'll benefit from more diablerie. And
I will definitely steer you in the direction of we should all be Sabbat.
We should all be Sabbat.
We should all.
Siren just plays for an open concert every night.
Oops, all Sabbat game. Let's go.
Look, I will dig deeper into the Sabbat and the blood cults and everything. If we want to run that route, that's up to y'all.
No, I mean, his big questions are gonna kind of be like, how. So she's a Tremere because Jace is a Tremere. So was she Tremere, Sabbat, and then back, or was it?
So the way that works is like Sabbat would be like a name of a group of people.
True. Yeah. So
it's not really a bloodline. It's just more of the practices and beliefs that you operate under on a daily basis.
So was she non-Camarilla Tremere whenever she was turned?
Yes, she was non-Camarilla. So she explains that when she was brought in, she was brought in by a mixed group of different bloodlines and clans. And she was brought under somebody that was more directly related to the fall of Tremere. That was around.
Damn, that's old.
Then.
God damn.
And when you start talking to her, you get the impression that she is maybe even older than Vegas. Like you get that mentality of she's been in New Orleans since before New Orleans. And while her generation isn't absolutely reflecting that, her power level isn't reflecting that, the dates.
Yeah. Okay. Huh. When did you leave and come Camarilla? Was it whenever the prince took over New Orleans? I think this was answered whenever Kitty and Iris talked, but I can't remember.
No, ask that again.
When did she become Camarilla? Basically,
She became Camarilla once, even to the point where there was Camarilla here in New Orleans before. And then with the hurricane and the flood, pretty much everybody just left New Orleans, and now we're just getting back to that regrowth. There was Camarilla here before, and she was not a part of the previous Camarilla organization.
And oh wow, okay, so she is Camarilla, like post Katrina Camarilla.
Post Katrina Camarilla, but she's been in New Orleans this entire time.
Yeah. Okay. Do you miss it at all?
Yes and no.
Okay.
There were times that I have yet to feel again, that I felt more free in so many ways, unchained by only my own beliefs, where there wasn't right or wrong. It was what I wanted to do and what I did not want to do. But if we all could just do what we wanted to do, the world would burn. Either by our own hands or our children's or our children's children. If we could all just do what we wanted to do, the world's population would be tripled or decimated overnight.
I mean, maybe if we all did what we wanted to do, yeah, but there's still some people that would make it okay. Okay. Would you go back?
Oh.
If the prince dies.
If I thought
tomorrow.
it would be best, for here, yeah. If I thought it was best for New Orleans, I would burn down the ivory tower and every immortal or blessed soul here. And I would start with the chantry.
Unfortunately fair. Are there any other... Did anybody else stay, or was it just you?
I don't want to make you think that I'm saying more by saying this, but some people's secrets are some people's secrets.
Fair enough. Okay. What was your... I think Elizabeth talked about paths or...
And she
something.
briefly goes down a variety of paths with you and describes different things that Sway hasn't actually dived deep into. And
does she tell me what her path had been?
She does not.
Okay.
If our lovely Sabat, who has played and ran Sabat, would like to describe a variety of paths that she goes over, and then I will tell you which path.
Okay, no, I mean, and me asking that was more like, does the non-specific answer happen? Like, does she say it even if you don't right now? Or does she specifically try to avoid it?
No, she tells you what, but she describes
what the paths are, and
then she asks you what you think. You describe the wrong one, and then she tells you.
Kat has feelings, and I would like to know them.
Yeah, I'll like.
I'm trying to. Path of Death in the Soul. This has to do with
That's
magic.
what
So
you
probably
were,
that.
right?
No.
You were Path of Enlightenment or something, right?
That's definitely what I said.
As you say, that's what she said.
It's definitely the thing I said out loud.
Valid.
Hey, enlightenment comes in a variety of ways. Okay,
Enlightenment.
some
up in so
person's
many
hell is
ways.
another person's nirvana. I'm not going to yuck on your yum.
Thank you so much.
Please, did you say please?
No, I said thank you so much.
But yeah, I encourage everyone to look into the path of the Sabbat, and Sway will do the same thing.
I'll just post the PDF I have.
But you come
Yes.
to the point after about a week that you have gone in circles, and nothing seems to explain that.
Okay. Got it.
Do you take this time to research any other of the theories that you've had about the individual you were trying to track while you're in here?
Death in the Soul. That's the magic one. There you go.
Oh.
Then that's
Oh, yeah.
what she
Okay.
says.
Hell yeah. Got it.
Path of Death in the Soul. There you go.
Hell yeah. Metal.
And Kitty said, well, Elizabeth says she was the path of Cathari. Y'all would have heard that. She said it out loud.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Cathari.
Cathari, got it.
Yeah. That's definitely what she said.
I don't think so, because his thoughts on Addison are so mixed bag right now that I don't think he does any, because he is so torn between the two possibilities in his brain, right? The Addison is dead, and the Samitsi that ate him is skinwalking as him. Alternatively, he ate a Samitsi and is alive, and there's just some weird blood magic thing that he can't figure out. And so because he is so unsure of which of those two it is, I think after the week he calls it quits.
Okay. That's it, unfortunately. If you wanted to spend more time, we could do another roll.
I mean, I'll text the group and check in. He sends a gif of somebody surrounded by books drinking a cup of coffee, and then immediately follows up with Mushu's "I live" as he texts the group.
I send back the drag race. She's alive. Look pretty good for her.
Elizabeth sends back a photo of her, Duncan, obviously playing the Switch, but Lou has tackled Duncan so that Elizabeth can win the game.
Yes, is it
exactly what's
mid-tackle?
Yes,
That's what
it's
for.
mid-tackle. She's make sure to get a picture just of that so that she
Yes.
could win Mario Kart for once.
Hell yeah.
I'm here for it.
And is Siren still with Jace, or is she?
Yeah, 100%. She has made making Jace's research easier her hyper focus.
Okay.
She is not plagued by poisonous insects in her room. She's fine. They wouldn't bother her. She's immortal. I'm not okay.
Valid.
But I was looking for that gift. Thank you, Meg. But yeah, she has just made it her mission to make. You casually mutter under your breath that you're looking for a different book that is not in front of you. I go and find it. I'm just like, are these 8 books the ones you were talking about, and you don't remember having said anything out loud? Like, that's her job, is research assistant Siren. And she is obnoxiously good at it.
To the point.
She's an academy bottom.
To the point. You're so good at it. I would like you to go ahead and place 1 point into occult.
Congratulations.
No, now
Because
she's a spook bitch.
you spent a week
I took a minor
In
in
the
occult
chantry.
studies.
you spent a week in the chantry with Iris and Jace, and even sometimes like Margaret.
Yay!
Margaret makes her way back there ever so often, and sometimes it does kind of like ruin the conversation. He's like, "Oh, what do we say in front of ghouls?" And it's always like she brings you treats like cookies that you could care less about eating most of the time. Lemonade, some sweet tea, because this is New Orleans now. If you're listening to this
Grandma.
in the north anywhere, when I say sweet tea, I want you to think of extra sweet tea. That's normal Southerner sweet tea. Take your sugar and double it. However much you think about using, go ahead and double
it. Double it and pass it on to the
They
next
should be
person.
asking, do you want some tea with that sugar? And the answer is no.
Yeah,
Correct. Yes.
No.
but she goes, I know you get the first time that she brings you guys in, you guys are probably 2 or 3 hours into the night of the first night. Now, I know you guys don't really need it, but I know sometimes you appreciate it. Just go ahead and do whatever you need to do. As she taps like a big, solid, like steel bucket that she puts down next to the tray, like the tray cart. Just whatever you need to do.
Blood and cookies for Vampire Santa. I love it.
But these, I wanted to give you guys a little bit of. This stuff is boring, so. And then she does that. She repeats that every night. She brings some sort of cookies and drink.
Grandma Margaret.
Margaret is just me in any academic setting. I don't know what any of this means, but here's some treats and have a great day.
But Margaret actually, she hears you muttering to yourself, Siren, about like, I don't know what the fuck, what is this? And she goes, oh, okay, so that is actually an old, outdated alchemical formula to actually transmute vitae into, looks like, why would they need contraceptives? And she kind of, like flips through, I think this is, why are these pages stuck together?
No.
And you look, and it's like a drop of blood. Okay, you know. But she actually helps you kind of learn from somebody who isn't naturally talented in this. So she kind of teaches you on a level or a way that
TA Margaret, love it.
Yeah, she learned some of this from coming from the outside world. So she knows how to talk to you as somebody this is not Harry Potter.
That's so cute. That's so cute. I love that.
So yeah, get a. Go ahead.
What kind of cookies does she always bring us?
It's different. The first day was like an oatmeal raisin.
Are they like homemade?
Yeah.
Okay. At some point, because hi
Thank you for the raid, Ravnos.
So okay, I'm just gonna pull. I would like to just call it the non-romantic Harold Crick. Thank you, Meg, for exactly knowing where I was going with this, because in Stranger Than Fiction, he brings the baker just a box of flowers, but it's flavored flour. And one of the nights, like 3 or 4 nights in, because Siren doesn't know how to show affection and gratitude like a normal person, she just like brings a box of baking supplies that may or may not actually be good. So she
roll me a shopping.
I was about to say she went to the store and she was like, if I were running a bake sale and I needed to bake a bunch of shit for like my kids, what would I buy? Like,
I want you to roll me a charisma persuasion.
Done.
That is going to be your shopping, talking to people.
I will ask, because Margaret is so good to us, I will ask for help for her. I will ask for assistance
You're gonna ask around town, and be like, I'm looking to help out Margaret.
No, I wouldn't ask for myself. Is my point. I would not ask these questions if it was for me. I will ask these questions because I'm trying.
I thought you were trying to ask around town, like,
no.
hey, just in case you know who I'm trying to help. It's old lady Margaret.
No.
She works down at the library.
I went into mom mode. I'm capable of doing things for someone else that I would not do for myself. Like,
all right. What did you get for
charisma? What?
Persuasion. You're trying to ask people to help you out with this. Let's see how good you are.
Oh no.
After all this emotional greatness that you've had.
6 successes. Possible messy crit. I only had 6 dice.
Okay, so here's what happens with that messy crit.
No!
Oh no.
No. So I look at it, unless it's something like physicality or using your powers, I do just kind of look at it as like an exploding critical.
Okay, good.
More things will happen for good or bad. So you go to like this old, what looks like an old trading post kind of country store.
Good.
And you are looking, it's like that, the front shop of like a Cracker Barrel, that kind of like feel to it.
I do in fact know.
But real and not manufactured and fake. And you find different types of flour, and then you're looking at sugar, and there's like, all right, was it powdered sugar, granulated? You don't fucking know sugar.
No.
Like that goes on the donut, but this might go in the I don't know. And you're sitting there talking, and this little old lady comes out from behind. The lady that was in there, or the woman that was in there when you walked in, was this maybe early 30s, maybe late 20s, a woman, and she's looking at her phone. She sees you come in and kind of look confused and just kind of like sighs, maybe rolls her eyes, but goes back to look at her phone. And as this little old lady comes out, she goes, Deborah, if you could get off that fucking phone and start helping some people in here. Ma'am, yes, what can I do for you? Are you looking for sugar?
I don't know. I have a teacher who really likes to bake, and I was she's been baking a lot of cookies for us in class, and I just wanted to get her some stuff to keep doing that because she.
Well, let me ask you this: Are you looking to garner a little bit of extra grades with the cookies, or
she immediately is offended by that, and but she goes.
She sees that, she goes, that's the good response, dearie, because if you were about to just cheat, I was about to ruin your teacher's day. So, and now she has got to be pushing like late 70s, and she's got this fire and sass.
Siren looks her dead in the eyes and goes, ma'am, I want her to feel appreciated, and I'm not good at saying it with words, so I figured I'd say it with sugar.
It's always better to say things with sugar, even if it's got a little spice in it. So,
please have her name be Virginia.
Also, never take off this character. Be this way all the time. So, you made me happy.
My name is. She looks and she goes, now, how old is your teacher? Is she a lady of a certain age, like myself, or is she more of Deborah's age?
She's a lady of a certain age who I believe would enjoy traditional cooking methods, ma'am.
Okay. Well, traditional. Give me 2 seconds. You don't want the powder to get the granulated. Okay. And she comes back as you're like, I still don't know what else I need. Like,
I would like to say Siren doing this when Pixie is a master baker is like really infuriating. I'm like, I know what she needs. Siren doesn't. I personally know what I would get in that store.
She a whore like that.
Siren fucking doesn't know.
And it's one of those things that like
Deborah.
She comes back and she's got this like little, looks like an old treasure chest is the wrong word, but it's a chest that opens from the top. Now it's only, it's only about this big, like maybe a half-size loaf of bread size. And she opens it up and she starts flipping through, and she sits the recipe box on one of the shelves. She goes, okay, so here are 3 recipes that I have that are more traditional. You can kind of cook this on anything from campfire to the best Gordon Ramsay kitchen in the world. So now this one is from. Now I know you youngins make fun of this name, but she is a sweetheart. Before I tell you this,
Oh God.
this is from my Aunt Karen. Now she's passed, and this one is from a lady I go to church with. Her name is Margaret, and both of these cookies I think would be the best. So if you want to pick like a recipe, I can give you whichever recipes you want, and we'll just go through the store and pick out everything, and then if
I'm gonna pick the Margaret recipe because obviously. And if I'm wrong, she still gets good cookie shit, and if I'm right, she gets the exact things she
What are
needs
the
to
odds?
make. Right, two
at
people
that,
named
Messy
Margaret
Critical.
in one city. Messy
Yep.
critical, yeah. Sometimes vampiric luck works in my favor.
yeah,
Sometimes I'm capable of doing nice things.
but
Also, Siren is. Okay.
she leads you around, and you get the everything you need for like what are they called? We'll say snickerdoodle cookies.
I was about to say that because
like that's my favorite.
I
But
know.
like there's a it was like sawdust cookies or something like that that my grandmother used to make. I was trying to think of what it was called. But yeah, so you get everything, and then you've now definitely earned your 1 point in a cult.
because I brought her a bag of baking supplies and like a new, like, I got her like a new. I asked at one point for like what the best brand on the market right now is for bakeware, and I buy her a new brownie tin and cake, like a brownie tin,
Aw.
cake pan, and like cookie sheet, and I pack the stuff in that, and just bring it like a gift tray.
I would like to put something in perspective for our viewers. Siren's main source of resource dots come from what? Mugging people and taking their money on the street when she feeds.
Yeah.
So she is literally, to buy this little old lady a new cooking set, is repeatedly going out when she feeds and picking
robbing abusers
and robbing them blind and going, at least this is going to Margaret. I'm
Robin
going to give her
Hood,
that fucking
bitches.
set.
Robin
I'm going to give her
Hood.
that fucking baking set.
Oh yeah, I go to the douchey bar for a couple of nights where I'm
Yeah.
like, you, that jackass wearing the puka shell necklace, come here.
Throwing way too much money around,
Oh, like the guy who is using bottle service as an excuse to be a dick to the waitresses and feel them up.
Yeah.
Oh, I rob him with every fiber of my being.
There you
I
go.
steal everything he owns.
And you know what? Margaret loves you, and
I sell his car. Like I like.
she gives you her address, and you can come over whenever you want for cookies, anytime, day or night,
Oh.
and she will make you some cookies.
Well, yeah, not during the day, but yeah.
How long is the party? Sorry, the coterie really wanting to just
Well,
not
speaking of which,
die?
we have a party, right? We haven't. We always have deadlines because we always
fuck.
have events we're
Let's-
planning. We have
We
one
were
more week.
planning a party for.
The prince does say that you can't have it in the bar now
Why?
Because it's open
because it's
air.
open.
You're open.
It's open air.
You're open.
You do have a bar across the street.
Yeah, we do.
We do.
Yeah. So
Um,
let's
I,
do-
no, go.
halfway
Somebody
through
else.
the next week, you guys get a text from Elizabeth that's literally, holy fuck, you guys won't believe what someone released in the animal reserve. Holy fuck, holy fuck, holy fuck. And you guys get a picture of a vampire parrot.
A vampire
Oh my
bear.
God.
Parrot.
A vampire parrot.
A
A
vampire
Dracula
bear.
parrot.
Oh
Amazing.
my
I've been
god.
holding on to this. You can have this animal for the
Yeah.
right moment.
I know you have.
Yep. No. Hey, that's a good way to drop. Hey, look. Don't worry about how I got one. I have a vampire parrot.
No.
It's not a ghoul. Or it
It's
is.
not
It is a.
It's not a
It's-
ghoul yet, but it's just like,
Okay.
look, I haven't ghouled it yet.
Oh.
But
Okay.
it's look what someone released in the reserve.
Everybody
he's
Google what
super
that parrot
friendly.
looks like.
Everyone,
They're
everyone
beautiful.
Google a Dracula
They're
parrot.
beautiful.
Dracula
Please.
parrot. That's what
They're
it is.
terrifying, but they are beautiful.
They
Jace
have-
will just text back. So he's yours now, right?
I have to ask RQ, and I
Have
have to
you
ask
named
very
him?
nicely.
Pretty
You've
sure,
already
like,
named him in your head, haven't you?
RQ would 100% let you ghoul whatever animal you want. She is very specific about what ghoul she has or what animal she uses. If you want to have the blood red vulture looking parrot, now the article that you send them, do you send them an article or do you send them a picture of your new parrot?
Picture of the new parrot.
Okay.
Salem hates it. Smiley face.
Fred will let you know that it's just because the parrot is prettier than Salem.
Shots fired.
So now, do you send this parrot throughout the city? Do you use it as a scout? Does it go with you? Like, I mean, not with you, like on your shoulder, like a fucking pirate, but like
sometimes, man, it's New
Sometimes.
Orleans. No one's gonna it's either gonna be like, oh my god, can I pet it, or stay away from the person who has a parrot on their shoulder.
Well, you do get people wanting to come up and like take your picture with the parrot.
Or charging them.
Charging.
Yeah. I mean, do you want to charge them?
Yeah, 100%.
Okay. Hey, look, it's a very New Orleans thing you do. You want a picture of me? You're gonna fucking tip me $2.
Yeah, a picture with the parrot. The parrot will sit on your shoulder for give me money.
After like a couple of days, you do hear about the blood red vulture of New Orleans. It's become like this cryptid kind of thing.
Yeah.
My boy. And then like an hour later on that text, she said, Duncan named it Strahd. I have no idea what that means, but it's a cool name.
Duncan would name it Strahd. Okay. But here's when you're looking up at all these articles that have been kind of like viral of New Orleans. Like the first time you see a newspaper with like a picture of your bird on the fucking front of it, like it's the biggest news story hit New Orleans, you're like, this is funny, and you start looking it up. Local news is that there is a politician making a name for himself in New Orleans for trying to help the homeless in different ways that aren't the church. Trying to say that the people of New Orleans can save the people of New Orleans, and that's what I have faith in.
Is there a name associated with this?
Yeah.
His name is Corey Brown.
Okay, got it.
Is that one of the people we've dealt with already?
No, the name doesn't ring a bell. Now, I assume that most of you guys do kind of cycle through the news a little bit. But Elizabeth would be the first one to really see that article.
I take a picture of the article and I send it to the group chat.
And now everyone else has the. Sorry, I'll let you guys have to say it.
This guy seems cool.
Local politician trying to save the homeless without needing a god to do it, kind of thing. He's Christian, but he's saying that these people are doing it for the wrong reasons.
Immediate Googling to find out.
Corey Brown is a local Bourbon Street, born and raised local.
Politician, like vying for senator. Is he?
He's going
mayor?
He's going for senator. Yeah, state.
Okay.
He's African American guy. He's born and raised here. He's like a left-leaning conservative. Like he tries to appeal to the conservatives. Like, hey, look, even though I'm saying that God doesn't need to be the ones that save these people, we can lift up those around us. He's saying it as like, I'm born Christian, from here. I'm one of you. He tries to appeal to that down home Southern, I'm one of you, versus we do still need to care about people. Like this is, and it's appealing to, it's bringing some from the left closer to the right and bringing some of the right closer to the left. And a lot of people on both sides are having issues with that. Now you see a lot of it where it's Democrats and Republicans in New Orleans are fighting him. He's like fighting on all sides.
Is he a new elect, or has he been in the? Is he been?
This would be his first
running...
public office.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. He played local football. He was going to go play for Louisiana. Got a knee injury.
So he went to
walks fine. But he was like a local almost like his county's like local hero growing up. Came from a good family, and he was the quarterback, and people loved him, and he said the right things to a lot of the right people, and people liked him. No big scandals or anything. He's not married, which is some of the people are hating on him because he's not a family man. He doesn't know what it's going to take, and he's like, hey, I've been focusing on the community more than myself and my own relationship happiness. And then people are like, see, he's putting others before self. That's everything you want. Why are you saying no to this?
I don't trust it.
Yeah.
Like a text back, I put in the group chat. I don't trust this.
Yeah. And it's hard to get a feel for him because all these articles are either hating him
If only.
for being too right or hating him for being too left.
Yeah.
If only two of us had significant others who were very good at getting things for people. If only.
What are you trying to get?
I'm trying to see if Duncan or know anything. I'm going to Nosferatu
okay.
store.
Okay. Well, what were you going to say, Matthew?
No, I was. That was it. It was. Yeah, I was just trying to do a little bit of light research on him via just normal Google searches because we need to get in touch with that dude.
A lot of hate on the left and the right for trying to just say, look, some of y'all are right about a little bit, and some of y'all right about a little bit over here and a little bit over there, but you guys need to get your shit together.
Yeah.
He's actually quoted to say, "Get your shit together," because it's New Orleans and he can't get away with that.
Okay.
Love it. I'm gonna see if Duncan knows anything about him.
You gonna put Duncan on? Are you gonna put it on it?
Yeah.
Okay. What you get is no affiliation with any kindred. You guys both get this.
I don't like that.
No affiliation with any kindred. Possible affiliation with the Catholic Church, not 2I, but just being New Orleans. There's a lot of Catholic lore everywhere.
A lot of Catholic guilt in this city.
Yeah. And then left Louisiana after football didn't pan out. Left Louisiana, got a degree in from Caltech, and then came back home.
It's not a lot of information. That makes me very suspicious.
Yeah, I still don't trust it.
I'm gonna text my two. This is dangerous, bringing them into this fucking game. My two touchstones.
Okay.
Because I have Delphine, who I've texted before, and who took some pictures of the church. She's a volunteer at a women's shelter. And also Kyle D'Angelo, who is a social worker. And he is going to try and see if either of them have any thoughts or feelings about this dude.
Both the people that you message are right around like your age, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. They're both for him. Like, how have you not heard of this guy? Yeah. They send you links, like they send you a couple TikToks. They send you like news articles where he's been basically telling "fuck you" to the left and the right. You'll see him in debates with other people on the left. You'll see him in debates with other people on the right, and he's always arguing that like, come center, see the other side and what they're actually saying. Turn that part of your brain off that just says no to anything they say. You get pictures of them, of him. Delphine is kind of like your little photographer, right?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, she's the one that took pictures of the church, but photography isn't like her thing. She's not a PI.
Okay. That's what I was trying to figure out. Like,
she's a woman who volunteers.
She does send you pictures, like phone camera pictures of him coming in and out of the Catholic Church.
Gotcha. Okay.
So she's like, a little too religious for me. He didn't burst into flames.
Got it.
But just kind of like,
And has Kyle is a social worker. Has he
So
had any dealings
specifically
with
from
him?
Kyle, you get not him specifically, but his office.
Huh.
Okay.
Okay.
When he went to Caltech, he got a master's in engineering and applied sciences, and he was trying to bring that back to the local community, to the kids, to kind of like STEM, try to bring a little bit more of the rest of the world. He says he describes him acting in such a way and calls it OCD. But the things that he describes, you would know them to be like superstitious. Like not just like I need to turn the handle 3 times before I can leave, but like things that are actually rooted in deep superstition, like throwing salt over your shoulder before you go in to have like a meeting or something. Like it's
man, New Orleans.
Yeah, like it's a lot of the folkloric superstitions.
Okay.
But he just calls them like OCD a little bit. Like he has these little tics that he does.
Sure.
And he describes things as like, it's not exactly tics. It's like this dude wouldn't walk underneath a ladder. Like,
yeah, he wouldn't.
I'm about
you
to
wouldn't
ruin
find
this
him within a
man's
mile.
entire career.
You wouldn't find that man within a mile of a broken mirror. Yeah, you got it. Okay.
But that he's been really helpful, and he's donated money to the local community, like the local kids support community, the local children's hospital. He's donated money and done it in such a way that he didn't take publicity for it. He was literally using his money quietly to still support. When people have caught him doing this, he doesn't deny it.
Sure.
But he goes, but I don't think we should have to talk about it all the time when we're trying to help out our community. Yeah, you found me out. I'm a good person.
Honestly,
keep watching.
You found me out. I donate to charities. Yeah. Okay, got it. Yeah, I mean, he'll Jace will relay all of this to everybody. He seems superstitious. Seems like a nice guy. He's apparently Catholic. But I think, if we... Maybe that is something we keep on our radar, right? Since the 2 eyes are really gunning for the homeless.
Are we branching into politics now?
No.
Okay.
No.
Unless
the
one
first
of you
time
guys
somebody in
want
New Orleans
to.
was a
Not us, but not
dual
us.
politician.
Also, as a note, I apologize for taking us back a tiny bit.
What's up?
Whenever we were researching, I wanted to ask Iris if Hancock was still in the chantry. Because I
tells
told
you
the
that
prince
she's not
to
gonna
deal with Hancock.
She tells you that as far as she knows, the problem has been taken care of.
Okay.
And is no longer under, she calls it protection. Anything inside the chantry is under the Tremere's protection.
Got it.
And she pointed out that it didn't look good to have somebody who is trying to kill the kindred under the protection of the Tremere.
Yeah. Okay, got it.
She tells you she doesn't know where he's at, but he's not here anymore.
Hopefully dead. But yeah, that's fine. I wanted to ask that earlier and just didn't get a chance. All right, so keep that on our radar. Do we have a party to plan for?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck the party.
I mean, at this point, it's just move the party across the street.
Have we all gotten pictures of what the bar looks like now, or have you just sent that to Kitty?
By the way. And to be fair, there are like giant roll doors.
Yeah.
So that it can be closed off.
Yeah.
For like private events and stuff.
For private events and also just safety reasons, because it's not completely. But yeah.
Now, okay, so if you took that in consideration, you can have it here if you want. It's going to be a different theme than like suit and tie matching houses, kind of like because you have the dirt and the floor or the dirt and grass.
Have
floor.
you never been to
I like
Versailles?
cowards.
They have
No.
outside and dirt and floor, and they were the
Yeah.
fanciest fuckers.
I've been
in
to
the world.
Versailles though.
Versailles, Kentucky.
I don't think we have to change that just because
I
part of the
know
floor
about
is outdoor.
Versailles.
Well, I mean,
Okay.
you know.
Yeah.
I don't know these things. If you want to go for that vibe, you do whatever you want.
Yeah.
The prince is alleviated. His concerns are alleviated because it can be.
God. I actually go, oh look, everything, and then so if we do outdoors, can we make it a mad tea party? You know,
Oh no.
because Lucy.
Oh my god, please.
Because of Lucy, you want to make Lucy Alice?
No,
Well,
because
'cause it's
Malkavians.
Malkavians are crazy, and it's her promotion
And
party.
Lucy would have to be the Mad Hatter. I don't know
The-
why you thought Alice.
Yeah, that's
But
true. The prince says, he says no, that's not appropriate. Is possible issue with being outside, and then you get a text back. Actually, I just thought about it. It sounds like an amazing idea. You're a wonderful person.
She switched
Hopefully-
movies on him.
Hopefully, you have a great night. Can't wait to. And then sends
It's that Lucy one.
TKLMNOP sends. I can't wait to look like the beautiful little girl Alice that I am inside.
Yep.
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 Lucy stole the
took
phone. Lucy took the phone.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Also, she dresses Lolita, so this is genuinely
Already
perfect.
right there.
Correct,
Yeah.
Can we please? Can we make? I have a request because New Orleans. Do you have a specific Alice in Wonderland in mind? Are we thinking Burton or Disney? Because I'm thinking somewhere in between, and we go steampunk or something. Just like make it a vibe.
I was thinking, I mean, not steampunk, I don't think. I was thinking more like, because it was outside, I was like, oh, we can do like fairy lights and shit. And then my mind went, ooh, Alice in Wonderland.
Yeah.
I mean, do we just do fancy Alice in Wonderland? Like Alice in Wonderland, but make it red
Well, we have
carpet?
two
Or
ways
choose
we could
your
go.
own kind
No,
of
we
deal?
have two ways we could go. We could go cocktail party Alice in Wonderland and like lawn party Alice in Wonderland with cocktail dresses and past hors d'oeuvres and all this shit. Or we could go rave wear Alice in Wonderland.
I
like-
kind of,
Club Alice in Wonderland.
I don't know about club. And I kind of like the idea of it being maybe more Tim Burton-y,
Okay.
but only because it's darker.
Yeah.
But there
Do
does
we
have
want-
to be
Do we
some
want
rave
costumes?
elements for Lucy.
Do we want people to come in costume, or do we want people to come in it's just dressed up fancy?
Fuck it, just wear whatever you want at this point. I think I don't think costume party because we just did Halloween.
A year ago.
we had a
We did
very
Halloween.
serious conversation in Halloween wear.
So as
Still my
as you
favorite.
go through all
I'm never
this,
wearing a costume again.
and you put out like, hey, fancy celebratory wear, modern period, because
Alice in Wonderland.
you've been told you have to tell people like, hey,
Not 1800s.
not 1800s. Are you going with the Alice in Wonderland theme, or are you just telling them to go fancy?
Fancy, but decor is Alice in Wonderland inspired.
Okay.
Fair,
Okay.
fair. Did we-
So go ahead.
The Lucy and the Malks were gonna have gold accents. Did we
Yeah.
want to assign accent colors to people, or just
Red
say
for Toreador.
don't come in gold?
Considering that there's 3 of us, I don't think it fucking matters. And she will be dressed. I'm expecting full on Disney cosplay.
Yes. The Toreadors being a rose, and there are those rose flowers, and that's already a thing. That just feels right.
I mean,
And then, so if you're putting that in the chat, I'll be like, and hey, Lizzie, if you and some of the other gang girl can shapeshift into flamingos, so we can play croquet, it would be great. Thanks.
I'll see if there's any flamingos. Text our queue. Do we have flamingos?
Oh, good.
No.
Lizzie is the autistic one who took it way too seriously. I didn't see that twist coming. I can say that because I am in fact autistic.
The bitch with the bat in her arm at all times.
You get a reply.
Autistic.
There's some on the reserve. They're not ours. They're just there. They're fucking flamingos.
Never mind.
You have a use for flamingos? Because I would rather them be useful than just be on my fucking land.
I text Jim. I can have decorative flamingo, but not croquet flamingo.
Can you imagine like a gold bird and your entire use is just to be hitting that with a fucking ball? It's
No,
the worst form of animal abuse. We're going to use you for croquet.
they'll smell like shrimp though.
Nah, that's okay.
They would.
I'm just gonna need little little paper drink me labels hanging from the stem of every drink, though.
Oh yeah.
Like, that's obviously, 100%.
And when
That's
everybody
fucking
walks
cute.
in, they get an eat me sticker.
Perfect.
So are we
This isn't
skipping
that
forward
party!
to...
This isn't the party under the rest. No!
Why not?
Come
So-
on.
I can have one blood orgy, goddammit!
You're a storyteller. Part of my coterie is harshing my vibe, and I feel like
We're going to end
Hello,
them
my
harshing
name
your
is
vibe.
50? That's where my brain went! Like, when you were like, put a sticker on as you walk in the door that says Emi, I'm like, oh no!
But yes, okay.
So the night of the party comes.
Woo!
Now, the Nos, Candide, walks in, and behind her are a few Nos. I think there's 3. They are all dressed as like punk rocker / chimney sweeper versions of like the Hatters.
Okay.
Like they
I fucking
all
love that.
I thought it was the lizard.
You see Candide have like a bowler cap, but like it's smushed on the side, and they all kind of look like grungy but clean. Like you are doing this on purpose. You're doing that thing like it's garbage chic.
David,
You're not doing that on accident.
David, you to my balls.
But very much like post-apocalyptic outcast version of Wonderland.
Love that.
Hell yeah.
The gangrel show up, and it's really just RQ and your little fighty friend.
Sharpie?
I have
No.
their names. Hold on.
No,
Hold
not
on.
The one that
Hold on.
she fought in the pit.
Yes.
I have friends.
In the
Hold on.
pit.
Hold on. I have friends. The one I fought or the friends I made?
No,
No
the
one can
friend.
say
The
that
friend.
I
Dave,
do not have
Nessie,
friends.
Dave, Nessie, and Fang.
So
Hell
it's
yeah.
Nessie that shows up,
Yes.
Oh.
and she runs over and like gives you a hug. She's wearing this like it looks odd on Candide, but they're both showing up as like Victoria's Secret angels, but instead of angels, it's like they're bunnies.
Yes.
And they all have like so RQ is dressed as like a black lingerie bunny. Nessie is dressed as a white lingerie bunny, and they both have necklaces with like not clocks, like not DJ clocks, but like little timepieces. And RQ shows up. I wasn't going to be the white rabbit. I mean, not.
So you chose the dormouse? Sorry.
Rabbits.
Rabbit.
These
Rabbit.
don't look like. She said the same thing. These are not mouse ears. They tip. They're just shorter.
I'm a sexy
Rabbits?
mouse.
I'm a sexy mouse.
The K is on backwards.
In comes in comes Rebecca Chase.
Who invited this bitch?
Shut up,
Um,
I need to know exactly what she's wearing.
She is.
Nothing.
She's not wearing anything, as is Rebecca. She comes in and they are wearing red suits. Like she's wearing like a business suit, and she has roses on like the lapel, like little small roses that are red dipped gold.
Good.
Siren. In comes your primogen. Wearing red and rose.
Heard nothing.
Everybody's naked.
He's also in
Everybody's
a
naked.
bunny suit.
He's also
He's also wearing ears. It's perfect.
Can someone draw Vegas in a bunny suit, please?
I
Someone
need
write
him
that down.
drawn as Himbo Victoria's Secret Bunny.
I need him drawn.
Immediately.
End of
Just-
sentence.
He comes in and he is wearing a black shirt and a dark red suit. He is wearing like red leather, but like gator skin, but dyed red boots under this suit. Under his eyes, under one of his eyes is drawn very clockwork orange, bold style. Like now he's an African American guy. He's light skinned enough that the mascara or whatever was drawn on his eyes, you can see it at a distance. And he's got a red and gold rimmed top hat. And when he comes in, you're like, oh, he's the Mad Hatter, or he's a Hatter. And he looks over to see Rebecca Chase, also dressed in red and roses, dipped in gold, and gives her like this nastiest stink eye that you could ever imagine Vegas giving without actually assaulting you. And he takes the hat off. He nods. And he comes over to you. Now, he is the only one of the Toreador that show up.
That tracks.
We need to make friends with more Toreador, apparently.
No, we don't. They suck. Siren is wearing. Say he gave her the stink eye or no?
He gave Rebecca Chase the stink eye
that's
for
fine.
wearing red and roses
Got it. When that
to
was
a
our
costume
thing.
event when that's the Toreador.
Yeah, got it.
And dipped in gold to be like, I'm you with money.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm you better.
Siren also would have planned to wear red, and also because this is not a kinky thing. This is she is technically the primogens.
During that week, I need to say this. During that week, she gives you your pick back. That was supposed to be something that happened during the week. I didn't know if we were skipping more time.
I am wearing that collar now with the pick.
He is also wearing silver accents, so it works.
Yeah.
With
Perfect.
your red and silver accents.
Yeah.
More along the lines of like Mercury.
Yeah. She is wearing a red vest that is the same color as his suit, but it is no top underneath, just the vest, and it's one of those. It's the halter top that just. If you get the feeling if she dances wrong, she has to be taped in there. Otherwise, they're just gonna be all over the place.
Yeah.
And then a black crinoline, very short but cocktail style skirt underneath, as well as red boots that are knee-high boots that match the red of the vest. She is also while her hair is still the blue and purples that it always was, she has styled it up, and she has tucked it in with red rose pins, and this almost prom updo that juxtaposes really artistically with this is cocktail dress but make it punk that she is doing. And it's like also a corseted vest, so it's got the ties in the back, but the ties are black. And yeah, she's got the silver, she's got the collar, and she's got but a slightly more feminine thin with the little pick dangling. Yeah, that's another siren outfit I would like to wear in real fucking life every fucking time.
He comes over to you, hat under his arm, and he leans in and kind of like gives you a hug, but he takes a second and he kisses you on the cheek. It takes you back for a second. It's a very public show of affection that is going to be taken in a lot of different ways by a lot of different people.
Well, they can not.
And you hear a little pause in conversation, and then it goes on. The Bruja. One person comes in. It's obviously Bruja. It's denim and chains and what looks like a heart, but make it an anarchy symbol that's very, very loosely disguised, Bruja. None of you guys really recognize this person. He's about maybe 5'6", 5'7", very kind of like emo swept hair, but more not stylized to do that. Just like it just fucking does that, and I don't move my hair. And he is dressed as, he's got a J on one side and a heart on the other, and it's like the Jack of Hearts kind of vibe. And he just walks in and kind of arms out. He's very Bruja. He just kind of puts himself against the wall, kicks a leg up. It looks like he's just waiting. And then you hear 3 knocks on the floor, coming from the stage. And then from behind the stage, in walks the prince. And he is wearing a white vest with a blue undershirt, like a blue dress undershirt, white pants, and then he says, he comes out, he kind of nods. Kindred of New Orleans, I present to you the new Malkavian Primogen, Lucy, Clan Malkavian. And steps aside. And when he steps aside, you see he's wearing a cape of there's it's like a silk cape, but underneath of it is all of those like old ruffles that you'd wear underneath of a dress.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a cape of that. Like he looked very sharp and presentable, and then turned as like fucking Malkavian.
Love that.
And you can tell like he knows that it's about to happen, and he doesn't want to show off his ruffles in front of everyone. But maybe his appearance wasn't chosen by him tonight. And out walks Lucy, who the first thing that you catch is the enormous red extensions that she has had put in her hair. And it is the length of them are curled up into what can only be described as a heart shaped. As she comes out with a red and gold, accented with silver. This Lolita dress. This what if it was blue and white would look like an Alice in Wonderland dress. But the dress, like the shoulder parts, look like it is, like they're metal, like like a metallic cloth material, and it comes out to these like epaulets to her side to make her have this more like regal appearance. And she is wearing her normal style of dress, and she actually kind of like curtsies, and you see the combat boots that she has chosen tonight to wear are red with gold metal accents, and on each side are very visible gold daggers sheathed with little crowns at the top. It's Lucy.
Amazing.
She bows, and she goes, I want to thank you for coming here to thank me for being your primogen. I know I was the best choice of the senior Malkavians. Really was the only choice, but I know that if it was 1,000,000 people, I would be your first choice because I would absolutely do it for you.
Hear, hear.
Everything that you think that you would do to me, I promise I would do to you joyously. So I know that you would choose me. Every single one of you. And they're like, fucking Lucy. And they're clapping. And in walks the Primogen Chimera.
Christoph.
That motherfucker.
Walks in
The
with,
hot guy.
he's wearing a purple and black suit. It has
That's what I was gonna do. Yes, we're all on the same page.
It has a gold and it has like a gold smiley face, but like a wiggly mouth. That's his gold accent and show of support for the Malkavian Primogen. And he goes, I do apologize for being late. I'm sorry, Prince. Primogen. Another Primogen. Sorry about that. It couldn't be helped, and I didn't want to not show. Lucy steps down from the stage.
Get him, Lucy. Get him.
And starts walking. And she stops. Now, Christoph is very tall.
Yeah,
Christoph he's like
Slenderman.
6'5",
He's a
6'6", like he's disconcertingly
He's hot.
tall and lanky.
He's hot. We know. He wouldn't dance with me last party. This changes.
He looks like he's looking forward and doesn't know if he should look down. I'm a Primogen. She's a Primogen. This is her thing. This isn't her space. Like this, you can see like all of these millions of like decorum questions come in his head. It's like, do I need to look at you? And he looks down and he goes, I do apologize. She goes, oh, I know you do. Have a good night, Christoph. And then kind of like turns and happily little girl skips back to the stage. Like, she is an odd little person.
Yes. Yes, she is.
I love her.
Do you guys want to describe what you wear as the party is starting to happen? Drinks are being served from some of the kindred.
If you don't
Sure.
mind, Elizabeth has a statement
Yes.
in her outfit.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, so Elizabeth comes in, and she has Bud and Lou with her, and Bud and Lou have been obviously fluffed up a bit to look more intimidating than they actually are, and they're not being friendly and happy as they usually are. They're both like work mode guard dog. Elizabeth is wearing what kind of looks like the same like black dress she wore at the last party she was at, with the 2 slits down the middle. Down the side to show up to thigh. You have to have thigh room to run because if you need to run. But she is wearing what looks like scale mail on her chest. That like when she moves, it's a green to red, and there's teeth. There's like sharp animal teeth as her earrings and necklace. She's emanating the Jabberwocky.
I was like, are we the Jabberwock?
She's
I'm bugging here for it.
the most dangerous predator in Wonderland. She is making a statement that she is dangerous. She is a hound. She will fuck you up. She's not here to play. But basically, what she's doing in the party is she's perimeter walking.
Yeah.
Making sure everything's good. But if anyone's smart, they know she's making a "I'm not someone to fuck around with" statement.
Nessie's going to try to go walk around with you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
And I see it. Lou will start a grand garden, and she'll just she has her own like commands for the dogs that are just like sit and move, like different language commands.
Yeah.
But let's Nessie in the circle of guard dog.
What language are you using?
Russian.
Okay.
Nice.
Jem.
Jem is in. It's very disco, like Studio 54. It's a halter backless, tiny thing.
Mm-hmm.
That's sort of. It's completely see-through, but there's like a sheen to the fabric that sort of makes it look like it might be made of glass.
Okay.
And then, and she has like a gold things in her hair, and like just some gold random accessories. But she's got little tag pasties that say "drink me" on her tits, and like this thong that says "eat me."
Amen.
Yeah,
I like it.
yeah.
Good for her.
I have a question about the Nos real quick.
Yes.
So it's Candide and whomst.
You don't know them outside of conversation with Id. Essentially, they are Candide's like lieutenants.
Okay.
It's not really a designated title. It's just people that she has kind of like always brought with her and stuff
Not
like that.
Duncan?
They're not Duncan. It's actually two of her former hounds.
Okay. Is Id here?
It is not here. Did you invite Id?
I invited Id.
Okay, then Id would
Guys,
have.
If it was possible, because I realized that it's a little weird.
Yeah. No. And did you invite Duncan to show up to this, Elizabeth?
Would Duncan wanted to have come?
Duncan would not volunteer.
Then no.
Okay.
This is did you want to come to this high permanent
And
event? Probably not.
He's like, no,
Then
not
that's fine.
really.
Then don't come. Then I'm fine.
It is like, yeah, Candide's going. So describe to everyone what Id wears. Now, it is still going to be Candide and her two lieutenants, but it will be Id as well.
What were they dressed as again? Like sexy chimney sweeps?
Yeah.
Um,
Pretty much.
Sexy Dick Van Dykes.
So just Dick Van Dyke? How fucking dare you?
he got the wrong memo and he shows up as Bert, but it's like the white outfit from Bert. And he's like, wrong movie, wrong
He
scene.
comes dressed as every Mary Poppins character.
Why is that what it does at every single costume event? He just shows up as the wrong
It's the wrong thing. No one is clear and concise with their communication when it comes to it. Oh, it's going to be like Alice in Wonderland. What is that?
Oh, poor guy.
He comes dressed as a flamingo.
When you have that brain
He has,
fart,
like,
like you can't remember the
cardboard
title of a
card.
movie or a song or something. It's superpower that affects everyone else when they're trying to describe anything to him. They can never remember the title. It's like that one movie with the crazy guy with the top hat and the little girl that got shorter, got bigger. His curse is to live through like really badly.
He just causes brain fog.
Yep.
I don't.
Mouth fog.
I mean, I don't know. He's dressed appropriately and nicely. I don't know. Dressing up dudes is weird.
Well, I don't know if you wanted to describe to him what you were going to wear beforehand.
No, because it's not it's a clan thing, and she's feeling less sure about no better way to say it. It's like,
Togetherness. Yeah.
well, no, very much togetherness, but like claiming him in public, she's not sure that that's something he wants.
Okay.
But she is, when he shows up, she is going to, because she got him a set of gold cufflinks.
Okay.
And she.
Did you give him that beforehand, or are you going to give him to him now?
Right now, she'll
Okay.
come over and say hi to Candide and like, hey, and just sort of slip him the box.
And he opens them up, and he's wearing a.
I hope he's wearing something that needs cufflinks.
Like he looks like a more clean cut version. Like he didn't get the memo of like we're going as trash pandas today. So he's like, I'm supposed to look nice. It's a fucking Primogen event. So like he's wearing like very much like Tim Burton-esque Mad Hatter, but like knowing that that's a main character and he doesn't want to do a main character unless one of the main characters of the night are doing that. So it's he's got this like fairy costume store Mad Hatter, and then he's got an actual like Paisley's the wrong word. But like gold and red and black and green print, like swirly print dinner jacket. It's kind of shiny. It looks like it could be like from like somebody in the 90s version of somebody in the 60s smoking everything all at once.
He's just like Big Bad Voodoo Daddy.
There you go.
Okay. Then yes, he does have something that
And
is...
he puts them on and actually like leans in and gives you a hug.
Oh, she gives him a hug back.
Yeah.
Cute.
Shut up.
It's like a old world Regency. I'll put that touch. They held hands like gloves. Oh my god.
Well, I know
Him her ankle.
Go ahead.
I'm showing all the ankle. When she's wearing nothing, she's completely covered in knit except for her ankles. When Vegas kisses Siren, she's making sure she's somewhere in like that she could be in Siren's eye line, and it's
She as soon as he pulls away, she just but lovingly, because that's how she doesn't show affection like a normal person. She just casually flips off.
Who does in this coterie?
Yeah.
You see the Primogen?
It's that new girl scene. It's to be fair, nobody here responds to things normally.
none of you emote correctly.
None of you emote correctly.
I just see you. And I love you, Siren.
Thank you.
So as the Primogen
Yes.
are circling around the bar, kind of talking to each other, and you see Elizabeth, you pick up on this. RQ seems to be trying to pace the group where she's on an opposite eye line of you. And she kind of like makes eye contact with you and like nods, like we're doing the same thing. I'm just trying to do it with the group, and like always trying to even stopping to like adjust something so everybody else kind of stops with her. And it's
We're
just
in the same
odd.
thing. I'm being obvious. She's being sneaky.
Yeah, she's like stopping and like, okay, now she's here. Okay, now we can kind of move. And it's this odd kind of circular whirlpool action on a dance floor of just kind of people walking around with no real place to go.
Balancing the room.
Me and our
And there
have
is that. It's like the
baked
room is
someone
trying
together.
to.
We have a good balance.
Yeah, it's like the room is trying to settle into like where everybody's going to just stay. The Nos, not so much. The Nos have kind of just parked. Candide, on the other hand, is like she's in that Primogen circle. Of kind of like we don't want to stay with her. Go ahead.
I had something for Candide too. Like she has like a tie clip for her.
Okay.
I figured she'd be wearing.
Yeah, she does. She has like a really skinny tie on, and she just kind of tucks it in with a little gold accent.
Yeah.
She goes, "This is perfect." And she kind
So were you?
And you see Lucy speaking to the prince as you guys kind of just meander, and she looks up and nods, types on her phone as the Jack of Hearts starts walking towards the bar, and Lucy at this point is kind of just sitting on the edge of the little lip of the stage. Like there's a chair there. You didn't bring the chair; it wasn't set out. Like you don't know how this almost throne-esque chair got here, but like
I'm not asking. I don't know how they got backstage.
Malkavians. I don't know.
There's a lot of shit happening right now. I don't know.
And the Jack of Hearts comes over. He kneels down, and you guys hear like he gets on like one knee. He says, "Oh, my queen," and he looks older than her. Like he looks like maybe mid-20s. Maybe like late 20s. She looks like maybe 18. And it's this weird kind of like, oh, you could be like an older brother kind of vibe, like visually, and then you're like, we don't know how old these people are. And she kind of just like takes his hand and past the top of it. Oh, my Jack of Hearts, please fetch me refreshments. I'm the queen. I'm the queen. And everybody's like,
This is my tiara.
My tiara. Put it on me.
And he comes back with like a wine glass of red.
TM.
We still haven't met Ransom, right? The Bruja Primogen.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he
No, we have. He was at the other party.
he showed
was
up
he?
to the other party. He was just kind of standoffish
yeah.
and
But we
wasn't
didn't talk to
did
him.
not want to interact.
Sure.
He's
This
the
is
only
not-
I made
And this
him
is
do
not
it.
him.
he's the only he's not here, and he's the only
Got it.
person that's not here.
Can we just the character growth in Elizabeth from the first party to this party is terrifying.
Correct.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You were like, dance with me, dance with me, dance with me.
Let's
and now
have
it's like,
fun. I want to be as rebellious as
I'm
possible.
going to kill.
That's
She's
why I
a
made
shark.
you a
And
pet
she's
shark.
circling her
Someone.
prey. She's a shark.
Yeah.
She's a shark.
Yep.
Well, that's what I'm turning into. Hold on. Write it down. So I'll write down Great White.
And she, when Jack comes back, she kind of takes the glass and tink, 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 tink on the side of like with one of her rings. She stands up on the chair. She goes, if you haven't noticed, we are missing one of our primogens. Don't be alarmed. He has an absentee notice. It's fine. Principal won't yell at him. However, let's discuss something else. She takes a drink.
Oh,
Do you say anything?
yes.
What do you say?
I don't know where that drink came from.
Oh, Jack went and got it.
No, I know where that drink came. I know, but from where?
Okay, so they told you guys you could bring your own ghouls for drinking. If
Okay.
not, they would be supplied. So you
They're
assume
outside.
because he went to the kitchen area that a bloodletting
Fair
is
enough.
happening in the kitchen area.
Okay, I don't. Okay, go. Please continue. I'm panicking.
She
At
takes
the
a drink,
disco.
smacks her lips, and you look as she looks to the floor, and she's like, "Prince, could you hold this?" And he's like, "Yes." Holds the glass. She looks at you. I didn't want to drop it. Don't just smash it. It would have been really cool to do that. To smash it, be like, "Oh, we need to talk about something," and then smash the. One of you isn't who you say you are. You have 30 seconds to come forward, or I will initiate a blood hunt per the prince. And you see everybody kind of like take a step back, like and away from everyone around you.
I'm closing ranks with the prince and Lucy.
Mm-hmm. 20 seconds. Time passes. Interesting. Prince, the floor is yours, as is my gift. Your information, your project. She has my will in this matter.
The prince knows I'm Sabat. We're good. It wasn't me.
Listen, I know that I said that I'm the stunt double for Matthew today, but come on.
15 seconds left. Let's bring in some guest appearances. Iris, could you come in, please? And Iris walks in.
What is
If you
she
could-
wearing?
So Iris is wearing a light green, like it's light in weight, but a dark green crocheted like shawl, like
Of course she is.
like mom jacket thing.
She's the
A little
cat
cardigan.
killer.
She is wearing what looks to be a comfortable. Jace, you've seen this a million times. She's wearing comfortable jeans and a t-shirt and her little mom shawl, and she's got her crossbody little patch, or I was gonna say
she go to
Merce,
work.
and she goes, "Of course," and she reaches into her satchel, and that visibly scares a lot of people to the point where there's an imposter. Everybody move back. People are visibly trying to like get. Oh shit! There's a wall there. And she turns, and she licks her finger on whatever substance she pulled out of her bag, and with her middle finger, blows from the tip of her middle finger that she licked to the top in the corner of the room in a very quick. And this mist starts to fall to the floor. Thick, billowing mist. 10 seconds. You know what? 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, Kristoff. 4, Kristoff. Step forward. 3, 2, and he starts to step forward. And he kneels. I don't know what you're talking about.
I train the dogs on Kristoff. So if he bolts, they're going after him.
The
Can I do
dog's
an
kind of.
insight? Can I do an insight check on Kristoff?
Go ahead.
Because theoretically, I'm the one who is around him most, and I'm not ever around him. So,
This is true.
I'm gonna assume manipulation insight is what you want on that one, since theoretically I'm trying to look into him lying. Or do you want?
I want you to roll either wits to see if, like, wits insight to see the general. I know what people look like when they're lying, or you can do an intelligence insight because you have studied what kindred look like when they're lying.
I'll just do wits.
Okay.
It's better.
Has
One success.
Has anyone told me about? Yeah, we've had the discussion in front of Jem that Addison might be shapeshifting. Yeah.
Yes.
I definitely said that in front of you. So
yes, because we talked about how
We talked about how it might be
that
someone
he,
impersonating Addison.
yes,
Yeah.
that he didn't do the diablerie, that somebody else ate him.
Okay. Can I? No. Cool. Oh God, can I breathe, please? Jesus.
Yeah.
You don't need to do that. It's fine.
Yes, I do. I really
What
do.
did you get on your wits insight?
It was one success.
One success.
Yeah, it was nothing. Yep.
Eyes
fine.
of the Beast on Kristoff.
Eyes of the Beast. You get a very strong sense of fear along all of this mist. And it's the fear of kindred being pushed away from an obvious eruption that is about to happen and trying to stay away from whatever this mist is. It smells wrong. It's something here is not right. That mist is telling the beast to stay away.
Sense the unseen real quick.
Since the unseen,
on Kristoff.
nothing.
Okay.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Elizabeth, the beast that you're the bestial presence that you're receiving from Kristoff. I'm going to assume that you use Sense the Beast at some time around almost everyone you've come in contact with.
That's how I size people up, yes.
She very much did it to all the Primogen.
She does it, yeah. She does it very often to everyone in empty rooms sometimes.
It's my can I beat you in a fight? I need to know now.
This beast is different than you have ever sensed from this individual before, and you, as you look around, maybe you in the coterie, but not you by yourself.
Damn.
What? Say that again? I'm sorry.
That the presence that you get from this beast, as you look around, you get a sense that maybe you in the coterie, you in the Primogen, sure, but not you by yourself, could defeat this person.
Okay.
And with with
No,
your
no. Okay. Continue.
what?
Please keep talking.
How's it going? With your potency, that's a cause for alarm.
Yeah.
And he goes, I don't know what you're talking about. And she goes, I know what I'm talking about. And that's really all that matters.
I motion for the dogs to flank.
And they'll pace. They'll kind of mimic your movements from earlier. Go ahead, Siren.
I have to double check before he starts talking. I need to double check that I can use this more than once. Yeah, it's my ability. I would like to activate the same thing I had on Rebecca Chase while we were having that conversation. I would like
you broke up a lot there. You want to use your sense emotions?
To sense emotions on him.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
This entire time, I would like to sense all
He-
the emotions.
There is a pride and arrogance
Yep.
there.
God
That he
damn
snuck
it.
in. Yeah.
He knows he's fine. This primogen, this peasant in front of him, this pretender to a crown, there is nothing that she could do. And you hear one, fair enough. Iris, please. And she puts her finger down and kind of flicks them. Like this devil horn, like, and then flick. And whatever was blown across the ceiling, a different shade, instead of purplish smoke, this almost gob of some orangish viscous liquid hits what looks like an invisible barrier and then runs down and then spreads and then engulfs Kristoff in this like egg. And then it shatters to the floor. And in front of you, you see Addison. He stands and he bows.
Kitten.
And as he looks to you,
She
Meg.
said one. Dogs, get him. She said one.
Okay.
He stands there on him.
Okay, that's true. As you say kitten, he winks at you. The dogs pounce. And as the dogs make impact with Addison, that is where we're going to end our episode.
Oh no, Jem's back on board.
No.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
No.
Yes.
Jesus Christ.
Yes. It's okay. Everyone's
So how's everybody doing?
And we'll watch the dogs take out the trash. It's okay.
I'm so excited. I can't
Yeah,
wait
he
to kill
looks-
this man.
He looks like he's about to like block and just gets engulfed by dog.
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 They can, without vampire blood, one of them could take down a bear.
Yeah.
So, at least he's not running away immediately.
Oh, you beat me to it.
Yeah.
So that is where we're going to leave off this week, and we will come back and figure out what happens to the coterie and most of the primogens and the prince of New Orleans all locked into a tiny little magical room.
Whee!
It's gonna be great.
But hey, at least there's grass.
At
It
least
is grass.
there's grass.
There is grass.
There's grass.
That is actually going to come into play. It's going to be fun.
Oh, no.
So, hopefully everybody had a good time, or at least enjoyed the story if they didn't personally have a great time tonight. Pixie, go ahead.
All right, well, I send you guys on a raid. Have a good
Let's
night.
go.
Bye.